Our story opens on our poor heroine getting an earful from her landlady. She begs for just a little more time to pay the rent, but the landlady is having none of it and slams the door right in her face. Inside, she pleads with the closed door, promising she'll get her bonus after this battle and can pay then. But it's too late. On her screen, the dreaded words appear. You died. Her live stream, her one shot at the prize money, is ruined. The chat goes wild as she stares in disbelief. She lost everything. And just like that, she's kicked to the curb, her belongings scattered on the pavement. As she picks through her things, her eyes land on a strange, ornate scroll. Does this even belong to me? She wonders, picking it up. The moment she touches it, the scroll unfurls on its own, and a single, shimmering white feather floats out. She reaches for it, mesmerized, but a flash of light sends a shocking vision through her mind. She sees a man with silver hair on a ship, tossed by a raging storm. The vision vanishes, leaving her reeling on the ground. She scrambles toward the scroll, which now displays glowing text about a battle at a place called Mirror Lake. The words seem to speak to her. As long as the feathers are still there, surely we can see each other? A jolt of recognition hits her. Mirror Lake is a real place near her hometown, led by an unseen force. She finds herself standing at the edge of the very same lake. With nothing left to lose, she decides to trust this bizarre turn of events. She tosses the scroll into the water, and a magical portal opens up beneath the surface. She dives in, swimming deeper, until she finds it, the massive sunken ship from her vision. Taking a deep breath, she swims toward an opening. She's pulled inside by a strange force, landing with a splash on the wooden deck. Miraculously, the inside of the boat is completely dry. This must be it, she thinks, her despair turning into excitement. She whips out her flashlight, convinced this is a treasure hunt, meant just for her. Her beam lands on a large chest, and her heart soars. Gold? Jewels? Then she throws it open, but her triumphant grin freezes into a mask of pure terror. Inside isn't treasure, but a pale silver-haired boy covered in cobwebs. She screams and stumbles backward, horrified. Is he? She's scared to death, hoping this isn't some real-life horror movie. Suddenly, a terrifying howl echoes from the shadows. A monstrous green creature with a gaping maw lunges out of the darkness. Our girl is frozen stiff, convinced her life is over, but just as the beast is about to pounce, a cold hand clamps over her mouth from behind. She flinches, her eyes wide with fear. She turns and sees the boy from the chest is awake, his eyes glowing with an eerie light. A vampire? He gives her an intense look, leans in, and whispers, "Come here," before pulling her into a shocking kiss. The second their lips touch, an explosion of golden light erupts from their bodies, instantly vaporizing the monster. They float in the air, wrapped in a warm heart-shaped glow. When the light fades, the little boy is gone. In his place is a devastatingly handsome man with the same silver hair. He smiles down at her. "Yiya," he says softly. "You've come to me." Our girl is completely bewildered. "Who's Yue?" she stammers. But he just continues, introducing himself as Li Chen, the prince of the Wuqi tribe. Kieran caught her prison's iron bars had disappeared. Before she can even process this, another monster appears. Li Chen instantly moves to protect her, pushing her behind him. "You hide here and don't move," he commands. He draws a glowing sword and becomes a whirlwind of righteous fury, slicing through the creatures with elegant ease. He's a one-man army. From her hiding spot, our girl watches in absolute awe. Ilza never seen him before, yet there's something so familiar about the way he moves. He finishes off the last monster, standing amidst the carnage. That's when she notices it. The monster's scales are pure gold. Her priorities immediately shift from survival to profit. Li Chen turns around, only to see her on the floor, happily collecting shiny gold scales. As he's distracted, another monster lunges at him. More and more creatures begin crawling out of the woodwork. "We have to leave," he shouts, realizing they're outnumbered. He scoops her up and makes a run for it. But our little nugget is still wailing. "Wait, I haven't finished picking up my gold." He leaps out of the sinking ship, flying them both to safety. "Goodbye, my precious gold," she sobs. As they float above the water, she finally takes a good look at her savior. It's the little boy from the chest, but why is he a full-grown man now? They burst from the water's surface and soar into the night sky. She's completely starstruck. "Wow, we're flying. How did you do that?" He looks at her with a sad, gentle expression. "You really can't remember anything?" he asks. She pulls back, confused. He just gives a small, knowing smile. "It's all right," he says. She starts putting the pieces together. "You're from the Wuqi tribe, right? The one that resurrects after a long slumber?" She bombards him with questions about his magic and his sudden growth spurt. He smirks. "This form only appears after I kiss you," he explains. "And to maintain it, we have to kiss once a day." Our girl is completely stunned. A kiss? But before she can even argue, a massive shadowy bird monster swoops from the sky and snatches her. Li Chen's gentle demeanor vanishes in an instant. "Let go of her," he roars, his eyes burning with savage fury. He launches himself at the beast, his sword a blur of light and fury. The monster squeals in pain, but Li Chen is relentless, dodging its attacks and cutting it down piece by piece. He lands softly, checking on her first. "Are you all right?" Then he gives her a pointed look. "So now you finally understand that you'll only be safe with me around, right?" She's shaken, but her mind is already working. He's right. Without him, she'd be monster food. A brilliant, if slightly selfish idea pops into her head. Maybe I should just keep him as my bodyguard. She stands up, full of newfound confidence. "All right, there's no further request, right?" He smirks. "None. Temporarily." She makes him swear he'll behave himself, and after a moment, they both agree. "I plan to go home now," she says. Can you send me back? As she walks ahead, he watches her, thinking how this ancient beast was drawn to her. He knows he must protect her, but he also needs to find the king of his tribe. They arrive at her house, and she waves him off. Well, good night. But as she opens the door, he follows her right inside. When she asks what he's doing, he declares, "Your home is my home." She promptly slams the door in his face. Crazy, she mutters, tossing her bag aside. Finally, she collapses onto her bed, relieved to be back in her own space. She hugs her pillow, feeling safe at last. Then she remembers the handsome lunatic she left outside and wonders if she should call the police. Suddenly, she freezes. There's someone in her bed. It's Li Chen looking at her with puppy dog eyes. "Yue, how can you just leave me?" he murmurs. "How did you get in?" she shrieks. But before he can answer, there's a soft bang, and he reverts back to his child form, completely exhausted. "I fought the water monsters," he mumbles, before passing out cold on her bed. He's fast asleep. She stares at him, utterly bewildered by the turn her life has taken. She looks at his peaceful, sleeping face. He talks like a scoundrel, she thinks, but he's quite cute when he becomes a little boy. Alright, hit that subscribe button and let's dive in, because this story is about to get chaotic. Our silver-haired mystery man gasps awake in a sunlit room. He turns his head, and his golden eyes go wide with shock. Beside him, our unsuspecting heroine is sleeping like a baby, a peaceful smile on her face. He gently brushes a stray lock of hair from her cheek. But our girl is not a peaceful sleeper. She murmurs that something is itchy, and then bam, she swings an arm wildly, yelling, "Annoying mosquito, go away." As if that wasn't enough, she starts sleep kicking while dreaming about all the gold she's gonna get. He looks down at her tangled limbs all over him, completely bewildered. Is this really my Yi? He wonders. She wasn't like this last time. He sighs, a look of pure confusion on his handsome face. Deciding enough is enough, he sits up and pokes her tummy. The sun is high up. Faster, wake up, your gold is all gone, he declares. Our girl's eyes flutter open, dazed. She sits bolt upright, absolutely furious. What are you doing? Why are you disturbing me so early in the morning? The poor guy flinches, his eyes welling up with tears. How dare you raise your voice at me? You're not my Yue. He whimpers. She just scoffs, telling him to stop acting cute as she gets out of bed. But then she freezes. Ah, wait! A sudden realization hits her. She flashes back to her constant terrifying nightmares, where she was always being hunted by monstrous creatures in a dark forest. But last night, she slept soundly. She turns and stares at the boy sulking on the floor. Could it be? She marches right up to him. Did you do anything last night? She demands. And why do you keep calling me Yue? He stands up, looking serious. That's because Yue is my family, he states plainly. Then he drops the bomb. And also my lover. An image of a woman who looks just like her flashes in her mind. He explains. You look exactly like her, and she's the only one who can wake me up. Our girl goes into full detective mode. His expression is sincere. So if this were a novel, she must be Yue's reincarnation. Her train of thought is interrupted by him magically twirling forks in the air. She's had enough. I'm going to live broadcast. You better stop disturbing me, she snaps. He just blinks. Live broadcast? What is that? Ignoring him, she puts on her adorable cat ear headphones and greets her online family. Her chat immediately explodes with worried messages from her fans. She reassures them with finger hearts. Thanks everyone for your concern, I'm fine, I love you. But someone in the background is not having it. Love you, he yells, storming into the frame. Who are you talking to? The chat goes absolutely nuts. A handsome guy. Boyfriend? They spam. The two start bickering live on camera, much to the viewer's delight. She tries to clear the air. He's not my boyfriend. He's just someone who had nowhere to go. King meanwhile is trying to understand the magic box she's talking to. She shoos him away, telling him not to disturb her. But then her fans start asking about the magic with the forks. An idea sparks. She turns to him with a grin and asks him to do it again. He smirks, calling it a little trick. With a snap of his fingers, the room fills with breathtaking glowing blue butterflies. Everyone is speechless. She shows him the screen, where the comments are praising him like a god. He's fascinated by the special mirror that can talk to others. Suddenly, she notices her follower count is shooting through the roof. A pop-up appears. She's been recommended on the front page. This is huge. This could mean hundreds of thousands in income. Yay, I actually brought home a money tree, she cheers, throwing her arms around him in pure joy. But he immediately shoves her off. You are really not shameful of yourself, he says, his voice dripping with ice. He stands there, looking thoroughly unimpressed. A little while later, our girl is living the high life. She's standing in front of a brand new, luxurious apartment building. I've signed with another platform. Now I can live in a new house, she celebrates. As they walk through the massive complex, he casually lists every entrance and exit he's already memorized. She's stunned. You're a walking GPS, he just smirks. I have to keep you safe. She starts to wonder, who exactly is this guy? And are those monsters going to be here too? Inside the new apartment, she's already playing house, ordering him to put the luggage down and go take a shower. He huffs but obeys, coming out as an adorable chibi. While he's busy, she pulls out the mysterious scroll she found. She knows it's the key. It's because I opened up the scroll that he appeared, but she hesitates. He's only staying by her side to maintain his adult form because he thinks she's his long-lost love, Yue. She decides to wait, hiding the scroll on a high shelf for now. Just then, he calls out, "Are you done?" She turns and her jaw drops. He's standing there in one of her bunny hoodies, drying his wet silver hair. He looks up, blushing. Why are you staring at me? She can't hold it in. She bursts out laughing. You're so sexy. He turns beet red, trying to hide. Don't look, he squeaks. And in a puff of smoke, her teasing makes him revert back to his tiny form. She pats his little head. Haha, little boy wearing my clothes is just nice now. He pouts. Who's a little boy? I am more than 100 years old. She just laughs and tells him the guest room is ready, and he is banned from her bed. That night, the nightmares return with a vengeance. The terrifying bird monsters are chasing her again. She runs, screaming for help. As a blade of light pierces through her chest, she jolts awake, gasping and covered in sweat. She clutches her head. I did take my medicine today. Then it hits her. The only time she didn't have a nightmare was when he was sleeping next to her. Her eyes widen with the earth-shattering realization. Pillow in hand, she creeps to his room. She opens the door, only to find him standing there, waiting for her. He asks why she's there, and she lets out a terrified shriek. He quickly shushes her. I heard some noise, he explains. I was a little worried. He asks if she had a nightmare, and she admits she did, trying to brush it off. She mentions the monsters looked familiar, but then decides to just make herself at home on his bed. He's surprised, but climbs in after her. I'm worried you may have nightmares, so I come to accompany you, he says softly. She smirks, patting the mattress. Yesterday you kept rejecting me, and now you come in the middle of the night? He leans in, a smug look on his face. Are you attracted by my handsome look? She just laughs. You are only a little boy, she teases, pulling him into a hug, but then his voice drops. Don't forget, I'm actually an adult. And just like that, he's in his adult form, pinning her to the bed. She stares up at him, shocked. Oh, I keep forgetting that it's an old soul in this little boy's body, she thinks. He leans closer, but she turns away, flustered. I'm so sleepy. Let's sleep, she squeaks, pulling the blanket over her head. He just chuckles softly. Later that night, back in his small form, he watches her sleep peacefully. He knows her nightmares are because of him. I must go on a trip tonight, he resolves. The next morning, he's meticulously drawing a map. She finds it odd. What era is it now? You can see this easily on your mobile. He asks her to buy him a magic mirror, and she deadpans. You thought about buying Baos. Don't even think about it before you earn any money. He calls her stingy, but she just pats his head, promising to help. She takes him shopping. He is not amused. She just grins. You are a kid. She then asks if he thinks their nightmare-free night was a coincidence. Realizing her mistake, she takes him to a proper men's clothing store. The sales lady fawns over the little boy, and our girl cheekily asks for clothes for him. He ignores them both and recites his adult measurements perfectly, shocking the employee. When the suit arrives, he insists on trying it on, and drags our girl into the changing room with him. I am a kid, right? I don't know how to wear it. You have to help me, he says with a sly grin. She calls him a prince, and he smirks. Fine, if you want me to wear it on my own. He pulls her into a sudden, shocking kiss, transforming back into his adult form in a flash. How about now, he whispers, holding her close. Are you satisfied? She pushes him away, completely flustered. While he's changing, she sees an ad for a handsome CEO named Gu Ye. She's swooning when two hands cover her eyes from behind. Which handsome guy do you see? A familiar voice asks. She turns, and her breath catches in her throat. He's standing there looking like $1,000,000 in the new suit. She can only stare, thinking, he's really handsome. The sales lady gushes, oh, your husband is here. Our girl frantically denies it and rushes to pay. But he catches her hand. Ye, he says, his voice low. Have you remembered everything now, Ye? A memory floods her mind. Their first meeting in another life. She had told him he had an extraordinary style, even in his simple clothes. The memory shatters, and she yanks her hand back, her eyes blazing with anger and confusion. What did you do to me? I told you. I'm not Yue. Stop treating me as her. He looks down, a shadow of hurt crossing his perfect features. Go find your Yue then. Our girl snaps, turning her back on him. The silver-haired pretty boy is left stunned and speechless. He calls out her name, Gina, trying to get her to listen. But she's had enough, screaming back, there's nothing for you to explain. He grabs her arm, stopping her. She whirls on him, her voice trembling with rage. You keep calling me Yue, saying I'm not as gentle as her, so why are you even here with me? The burn is real. She's so worked up that she takes a wrong step on the stairs and her foot slips. A scream tears from her lips as she tumbles backward into thin air. Be careful, he shouts, his eyes wide with panic. In a flash, he lunges forward and yanks her back from the brink. He pulls her flush against his chest, his heart hammering as he asks, Are you all right? Just then, a single glowing feather drifts down between them. Our girl stares at it, and a strange vision floods her mind. Suddenly, she's in another time, another life, dressed in ancient robes on a small boat. She sees him, Li Chen, running for his life along the riverbank, pursued by men in black. And these aren't just any men, they're archers, with their bows drawn and ready. With a breathtaking leap, Li Chen soars from the cliff and lands directly on her tiny boat, startling her. He lands with a smirk, taunting his pursuers. Humph, you guys won't be able to catch up. She's completely bewildered. Who are you? Why did you jump onto my boat? But the archers aren't giving up that easily. They let their arrows fly, a deadly swarm heading right for them. The arrows rain down, rocking the boat violently. He cries out in alarm. He screams miss as an arrow pierces her shoulder. She took the hit meant for him. The impact sends her plunging into the cold water, blood blooming around her. As she sinks, she thinks, am I going to die? One of the assassins leaps onto the boat to finish Li Chen off, but he's too quick. Without a second's hesitation, Li Chen dives into the water after her. He gently cups her face, his expression filled with anguish. And then, he kisses her, a desperate attempt to give her air, to save her life. He pulls back just enough to whisper, I'm glad that you are not dead yet. cradling her wounded body. He promises to bring her to the surface as soon as the soldiers are gone. She's in shock, wondering how she can suddenly breathe underwater. Li Duping introduces himself as Li Chen, and she realizes he's the prince of the Wuqi clan. Are you all right? He asks, his voice laced with concern as he holds her tight. But the shock and the wound are too much. She passes out in his arms, the vision shatters, and Gina gasps back in the present day, clutching the glowing feather. He asks, was that Yi Yue just now? She numbly nods yes. A sudden realization hits her. She touches her chest, whispering, I can breathe under the water too. His eyes are intense. If you're not Yi Yue, he presses. How did you manage to wake me up? He holds up the feather. And this is the feather I gave you back then. She stares at it, her mind reeling. The shipwreck, the vision, it was all because of this feather. She has to know. Who were those people chasing you? When he says they're from his own clan, she's floored. But you're their prince. He looks away, saying it's hard to explain. Our girl's imagination runs wild with a classic tale of royal betrayal and a fight for the throne. She starts piecing it together. Since your race sleeps for 120 years, there must be others besides you, right? He admits it's true, but he doesn't know where they are. He begins his heartbreaking story. Back then, I was homeless. We see a flashback of a tiny, adorable. He was bullied relentlessly by the other boys, who whipped him and taunted him for being an outsider. They spew venom about his mother. That's the last straw. He explodes with rage, tackling the bully. I forbid you to talk about my mother. She was murdered, but he's just a boy. They easily overpower him, throwing him to the frozen ground and calling him a spy. He thinks to himself that the Wu Qi clan may be ruthless. But the Feather Clan is no better. With tears of rage in his eyes, little Li Chen makes a solemn vow. He will become strong and get his revenge. He continues his story, explaining that a kind girl named Yi Yue took him in. We see her finding him practicing late at night, offering him mooncakes she baked. He looks up, surprised. He'd been so focused on training he didn't even realize it was the full moon. A wave of loneliness washes over his young face. She asks if his family misses him. He confesses that since his mother's death, his life is only practice. Family is something far away. Her smile is the warmest thing he's ever seen. Then from now on, she says softly, this is your home. Back in the present, he looks at Gina with so much emotion. He tells her that being a prince meant nothing compared to the simple peace he found with Yi Yue. Gina is completely captivated, her heart aching for him. He explains he gave Yi Yue the feather to protect her, but he was forced to sleep for years. Now the feather is in your hand, he says with conviction. I will definitely protect you. But our girl snaps back to reality. Don't forget we have a deal, she reminds him, ever the boss. You're my bodyguard and assistant. She points out he has to protect her anyway. With a huff, she turns and walks away, leaving him utterly confused by her sudden anger. He just stands there, completely baffled. Later that night, Gina finishes her live stream, waving goodbye to her fans. Li Chen curiously asks about her followers' nickname for her, Little Orange. She explains she just really likes oranges. Then a thought strikes her, and she asks, Yi Yue likes to eat grapes too, right? He groans, Yi Yue again. That's it. She's done. No, she shouts, stomping off to her room. Otherwise, she retorts when he asks if she's sleeping alone. He warns her, but you will have nightmares. He tries to explain that her nightmares are Yi Yue's memories, and he can stop them. But she's had enough of being a substitute. My nightmares are my own, not Yi Yue's. The poor guy is just lost. Lying in bed, Gina feels a pang of sadness. She knows she should be happy he's protecting her, so why does her heart hurt? Meanwhile, Li Chen senses a familiar presence and quietly slips out of the apartment. The front door clicks shut in the dead of night, but Gina hears it. Peeking out, she wonders, it's 2 in the morning. Where is he going? Her detective senses are tingling. Something is definitely up. She follows him all the way to a dark, deserted park. He stops, his senses on high alert. It's over there. Our girl, not exactly dressed for a midnight spy mission, tiptoes through the park after him. A sudden, strange squawk from the bushes makes her jump. What was that? She whispers, her eyes wide. She sees him moving towards the sound in the trees. She ducks behind a tree, trying to see what he's doing. But he's already onto her. Without turning around, he calls out, come out, I know you've been following me. Busted. She steps out, trying to play it cool. You knew I was following you and ran so fast on purpose, didn't you? He just sighs, giving in. Alright, I won't have to hide then. He calmly explains he found some monsters and buried them so she wouldn't see and get scared. He then reaches out and gently wipes a smudge of dirt from her cheek. In that moment, she realizes he's not hiding anything sinister. He's truly just trying to protect her. Her cheeks flush, completely caught off guard by his gentle gesture. She quickly recovers her composure. Alright, glad you're doing your job, she says, trying to sound nonchalant. He changes the subject, asking if she knows what kind of tree they're standing under. It's an aganmu tree. His expression turns grim. He explains that the undying archers from his clan use the wood from this tree to keep their hearts beating. The terrifying truth dawns on her. They are all around us. He looks at her seriously, the weight of the danger they're in settling between them. Her life is at risk at any moment. Under the pale moonlight, our girl frets about the powerful archers hunting them. But our silver-haired mystery man just smirks, telling her not to worry. He reveals he was awakened ahead of schedule, meaning they have a solid 6-month head start before anyone can find them. This does little to calm her nerves. She points out that even if he's okay, what about everyone else? He explains the beasts are cursed, and they only chase after the Wu Qi clan, who can't see the sun. Our girl connects the dots, vampires, but why are they after her? He drops a bombshell. She has a lifelong relationship with him and was given the ability to breathe underwater by his clan. That's why they're after her. As a token of this connection, he presents her with a single, solitary feather. Our girl is not impressed. She calls him out for being cheap, demanding a gold ring instead of a feather. But their banter is cut short when they realize the beasts are already here. Our heroine starts to panic, thinking they're about to be eaten. She grabs his arm, absolutely terrified. But he just bursts out laughing. The absolute audacity. She snaps, realizing he lied to her. He just teases her, saying she's always been money-minded, even from the first day they met. But she's lost in a daydream, thinking a feather is more romantic than a ring, a symbol of a lifetime commitment. He asks if she really thinks so. He admits he owes her a ring, because he wasn't there when she fell into her deep sleep. The next morning, she wakes up with a massive yawn, but her peaceful morning is shattered when she finds him looming over her, staring with angry, intense eyes. She jolts upright, asking what he's doing. He confronts her, saying she wasn't there when he fell asleep the night before. His eyes are filled with doubt. She tries to play it cool, but he's not buying it. He knows she's hiding something. She finally caves, admitting she doesn't believe him either. He reveals that he knows many people were after her, and that Yue was watching her from a mountain. His gaze turns sharp. He asks her why she didn't mention that Yue was looking at her. He says Yue didn't want to see him. His voice cracks with hurt. "So you all don't believe me?" She quickly tries to reassure him, but he cuts her off, saying now that her memory is back, she should know why. His question hangs in the air. Our girl panics, claiming she has no idea and can't possibly know everything so sudden. He then asks a chilling question. "Would you believe me if you see the whole memory?" He reaches for her, about to show her the truth. But just as his fingers are about to touch her forehead, a sharp knock echoes through the room. He freezes, a strange scent hitting him. His eyes widen in horror. It's the hunter. She moves to the door, completely oblivious. She scoffs, saying he must be wrong, since she can't even smell her own perfume. He snaps back that his senses are so sharp he can smell grass being cut downstairs. She's confused. Weren't the archers 6 months away? He realizes his mistake. Hunters aren't like the others. Their descendants have guarded the Wu-Ki clan for generations. This is a huge problem. The man outside calls for Miss Gina. She whispers to him, asking why he isn't running away. But she stands her ground, refusing to be a coward. If he found her here, running is useless. She tells him not to worry as she reaches for the door. The moment the door opens, his suspicion is confirmed. It's really the hunter. The man, a delivery guy, tries to hand her a gift, but our boy is faster. He yanks her back and bam, slams the door shut. He pulls her into a chaotic, desperate kiss right as the door closes. The delivery guy is left completely stunned and flustered on the other side. He stammers an apology and says he'll just leave the gift. She shoves him away, mortified, yelling that it's not what he thinks. But the delivery guy is already gone. Our girl is having a full-blown meltdown over the social death scene. She blames him for ruining her image, accusing him of hallucinating the hunter. He insists the hunter's scent disappeared the moment the door opened. She finds a note in the bouquet of roses. It's an invitation to a star-studded networking event. She's immediately starstruck, giggling over all the handsome celebrities she'll get to meet, while he glares with pure jealousy. Suddenly, she freezes, sniffing the air. She shoves the flowers at him, telling him to smell them. The floral scent is incredibly strong. He looks confused, asking what she's trying to say. The realization dawns on her. The hunter's scent, it must have been covered by the smell of these flowers. That means the hunter really was here. His face turns grim. The enemy is close. And he's right. In an alleyway, the delivery uniform is tossed into a trash can. The delivery man walks away, a sinister smile playing on his lips. Our boy returns, having found nothing. He wonders how the hunter even knew they were there. Suddenly, our girl gets a brilliant idea. A disguise. He raises an eyebrow, asking if she knows such a secret technique. She just giggles. It's called makeup. She gets to work, applying powder and lipstick. She styles her hair into an elaborate historical updo. The transformation is stunning. He's completely speechless. She asks him to help her put in one last hairpin. He gently takes the pin, but as he's about to place it in her hair, her eyes fly open. "Wait," she cries out. He freezes, confused. She's silent, lost in a vision. He asks what she saw just now. She whispers, "I saw a little bit. You helped her put the hairpin in too." The memory floods her mind. A beautiful night under a full moon. He's with her past self, Yue, tenderly placing a hairpin in her hair. They speak of poems about red beans, a symbol of longing. He smiles softly. He gently touches her hair, telling her he knows the hairpin he made will look nice on her. She looks at him, her heart fluttering. He leans in, whispering that the next phrase in the poem is being lovesick, but the memory shatters. He's back at their home, wounded and bleeding, screaming her name. He calls out for Yue, but the courtyard is empty. The hairpin he made for her lies abandoned on a stone table. His heart breaks. "Why? Why didn't you wait for me?" From a distance, hidden in the woods, Yue watches him. Tears stream down her face as she decides it's better they don't meet again, just to protect him. But as she turns to leave, an arrow comes flying out of nowhere. Swish! It strikes her, and she collapses. Back in the present, she's trembling. The memories were so real, so painful. She looks at him, her voice barely a whisper. What happened to her after that? He lies through his teeth, a sad smile on his face. She was living well. He looks away, his heart aching with the thought that she lived better without him. But she sees right through it. "Let me ask you, do you wish that she lived well or not?" She grabs his hoodie, her eyes blazing. "Of course I want her to live well." Trying to change the subject, she pats his chest, reminding him they need to find the hunter. She asks the million-dollar question. "Why are they all chasing us?" When he name, he finally reveals the heart-wrenching truth. It's the curse of the Wu-Ki king. She stares in shock. "The Qi King, isn't that your father?" His expression turns icy and dark. Our story opens on a heart-wrenching memory. A young boy clutches his mother, begging her not to go. With tears in her eyes, she can only apologize, saying this is the only way. She shoves him away, her face a mask of pure desperation. Suddenly he's falling. He screams for his mother as he's pushed off a high cliff. Her voice echoes after him, telling him to fly, to find his real father. "Son, you must survive," she cries. With a gasp, he jolts awake in bed. Our girl, Gina, rushes to his side, asking if he's alright. He tells her about the nightmare, how his mother pushed him from a cliff just to protect him. Gina looks concerned, asking. He looks down, hesitating, because we're pulled back into his past, to the lands of the Wookiee tribe. It's his coming-of-age day, and his mother calls for him with a warm smile, but Li Chen is hiding behind a door, nervously tucking his fingers behind his back. Her smile vanishes, replaced by sheer shock at what she sees. She pulls him close, staring in horror at the small feathered wings sprouting from his back. He stammers, claiming he has no idea what they are. "They are wings," she whispers, her mind reeling. The tiny wings give a little twitch just as a servant announces breakfast from outside. The mother snaps, screaming for them to leave the food at the door and not to come in. Her eyes are wild with panic. She then turns, grabbing a pair of sharp scissors from a nearby table. "Mother!" Li Chen cries out in terror. She tells him it's over, if anyone finds out, that she has to cut the wings off for him. He shoves her hand away, screaming no. He stares at his reflection in the mirror, his voice trembling. "Mother, why her?" Her expression softens into one of profound sadness. She explains that she can't let anyone find out he's a child of the Feather Clan. Li Chen stares, utterly stunned by her words. He can't process it. She kneels before him, revealing the world-shattering secret. "The reason there are wings on your back is because you're the child of the leader of the Feather Clan." The young prince freezes, his whole identity shattered in an instant, like a broken mirror. "What?" he shouts. "The Feather Clan who have been invading our territory?" His little wings flap in agitation. His mother can only call his name, her voice filled with pain. He shakes his head frantically, denying it, insisting he is the prince of the Wookiee clan. Karen just streamed down his mother's face as she delivers the brutal truth. If his father sees the wings, he will be executed. The poor boy looks up, confused. "But mother, father loves me so much. Why would he execute me?" And right on cue, a cold voice cuts through the air. His father enters the room. The mother's blood runs cold. The man's eyes narrow, his gaze locking onto his son's back. "Li Chen, what are those on your back?" he asks, his voice dangerously low. The man's face is pure icy rage. The memory shifts, and we see Li Chen screaming as he plummets through the air. His wings flap desperately, trying to slow his descent, but he hits the ground with a sickening thud. He groans, slowly opening his eyes, his body bruised and broken. He wonders if he's still alive, but then he overhears two men talking nearby. They say the Wookiee clan executed their queen tonight. Li Chen freezes, eavesdropping from the bushes. The men gossip that a spy she was hiding ran away, and now they're searching for him. As they walk off, one remarks on how beautiful the queen was. Li Chen's heart stops. "Mother!" The horrifying reality crashes down on him. They're going to execute his mother. He has to stop them. He scrambles through the woods and finds a large crowd gathered. On a pyre, tied to a stake, is his mother. An official declares the queen's crime, consorting with another clan to hide a spy. It is an unforgivable sin, he bellows. "Execute!" Li Chen screams no as a guard approaches the pyre with a torch. He tries to run forward, shouting for his mother. Through the flames, his mother sees him and gives him one last, heartbreakingly gentle smile. His so-called father watches the scene with a chillingly blank expression. He turns his back on the inferno, coldly announcing that justice has been served. The crowd begins to leave. Li Chen can only watch, paralyzed with grief, as the flames consume his mother. A raw, guttural scream tears from his throat. He collapses onto the rocks, sobbing. Why, father?" He looks down at the single feather she gave him, his face streaked with dirt and tears. He remembers her last words. "Don't blame your father." But now, clutching the feather, his sorrow turns into an icy resolve. "I, Li Chen, must avenge my mother." Back in the present, he finishes his tragic tale. "She told me she was sorry, and asked me not to blame him," he says quietly. Gina gently suggests his mother just didn't want him to live a life of misery. But Li Chen explodes. "Then how can I not blame him?" He quickly apologizes, admitting his feelings are a chaotic mess of sadness and resentment. Our girl takes his hand, her touch a small comfort. "If you feel bad, just cry it out," she says softly. "Maybe you will feel better then." He looks down at their hands, silent for a moment, before quietly saying, "I am not that weak." Later they arrive at a massive banquet, a plan forming in their minds. All eyes are on the stage, where a dashing magician named Xiao Li is performing. The crowd goes wild for him, and even Gina is completely charmed. He produces a flock of doves from thin air, a classic but effective trick. Li Chen scoffs that the magic is fake, but Gina is just enjoying the show. They pose for the cameras, looking like the ultimate power couple. But then Li Chen steps forward and takes the microphone. "I am not a magician," he announces to the stunned crowd. "I'm the prince of the Wookiee clan." The reporters are completely baffled. Gina whispers frantically, asking what he's doing. "Of course I'm being sarcastic," he murmurs back, his eyes fixed on the magician. "Hunter will not be a prince no matter how he pretends." Gina's eyes widen. "He is," she starts. Li Chen confirms it. He has a hunter's smell on him. And at that moment, the magician himself approaches. "Long time no see, Gina." Xiao Li smirks, noting he doesn't see Li Chen in her live broadcasts anymore. Li Chen's reply is short and icy. Gina senses the thick tension between them. The magician's smile turns predatory. I really wish to work together with Mr. Li Chen, he purrs. He leans in. I'm really curious why you say you're the prince of the Wu Qi clan. Li Chen tells Gina to wait for him and pulls the magician aside. You should know about the Wu Qi clan, right? He asks pointedly. Xiao Li just grins. I've seen you make fireflies in the dark. I wonder if this magic will shock you. Suddenly, with a deafening clank, the lights above them shatter. The room is plunged into chaos as the chandelier sparks and sways violently. What happened? Li Chen. Li Chen glares at the magician, who stands calmly in the dark. A ball of menacing blue energy forms in his hand. Of course, the hunter says with a wicked grin, it's to show you my magic. Alright, buckle up my beautiful people, because tonight's recap is about to get chaotic. We open at a swanky party, where some magician is showing off with a little ball of blue fire. Our boy Xiao Li is putting on a show. An arrival magician in a top hat smirks. He did it. But our silver-haired king, Li Chen, is not impressed. He glares, stating, in my life, what I hate most is fire. The top-hatted menace just scoffs, promising that his own magic will show Li Chen. Li Chen just rolls his eyes, basically telling him to dream on. Suddenly, panic flashes across Li Chen's face as he calls out for our girl, Gina. Before he can move, a massive wall of blue flame erupts around him. Top Hat just smirks. The excitement is just about to begin. How can you leave? A glass box slams down from the ceiling, trapping our poor boy inside. The magician seals the trap with a magical flourish, and the entire box is engulfed in terrifying blue flames. For Li Chen, this is pure torture. He's hit with a heart-wrenching flashback of a fire, a child crying for their mother. He pounds desperately on the glass, screaming as the inferno rages around him. And then, poof, he vanishes from the box. The crowd gasps. He's gone. It's amazing. Everyone is buzzing with confusion. When Top Hat appears right behind a very shaken Li Chen, the crowd goes wild, calling him the Prince of Magic. The magician taunts him, trying to trade secrets, but Li Chen is having none of it. He snaps, shut up, I know what you are, even if you want to kill me, don't harm the innocent. Top Hat just smirks, taking that as a compliment. But Li Chen couldn't care less. He frantically scans the room, calling for Gina, completely ignoring his rival. He searches the crowd, wondering where she could be. This of course makes Top Hat absolutely furious. As a magician, you only care about your assistant. Disappointing. That gets Li Chen's attention. The pieces click into place. He whirls around, his eyes blazing with fury. It's you, he roars, grabbing the magician by the collar and demanding to know where Gina is. The two of them are suddenly launched into the air. The clueless crowd just thinks it's part of the show. They land precariously on top of a giant chandelier. Top Hat, still annoyingly smug, reveals that Gina was invited to the garden by a Mr. Ge. That's all Li Chen needs to hear. He leaps from the chandelier, leaving the other magician screaming after him. Meanwhile, in a beautiful moonlit garden, our girl Gina is chatting with the very handsome Mr. Ge. He apologizes for the magic show, explaining he needed it to create a buzz for the banquet. He promises to apologize to Li Chen later, and Gina, bless her heart, is just impressed by his business savvy. She starts chatting about Li Chen's magic, admitting she thinks his whole Wu Qi clan story is just a persona he made up. Li Yi's expression turns serious. How come he can fly? He asks. Gina is confused for a second, then points up at the chandelier, gushing about how amazing it was and that she needs to get a picture for social media. When she asks why, he drops a bombshell. The mythical Wu Qi clan couldn't fly, but the Feather clan could. He confirms Li Chen is one of them, just as Li Chen himself bursts into the garden, screaming Gina's name. He rushes to her side, frantically checking if she's okay. Then his eyes turn to ice as he glares at Guye. Are you the one who brought her out here? Yeah, introduces himself calmly, and Gina quickly explains he's their financial backer and was just trying to help her. But Li Chen catches a familiar scent. Did you arrange all these flowers? He asks, his voice dangerously low. Guye smiles, confirming they're his favorite, and that Li Chen should have received a delivery too. He offers Li Chen a single rose. Li Chen connects the dots. The courier, the magic show. Are you testing me? He sees that, grabbing Guye's wrist. Guye plays dumb, but Li Chen sees right through it. I know what you're up to. And then he throws a punch. Guoyi dodges gracefully, avoiding another strike. He catches Li Chen's fist, impressed, but Li Chen has had enough of the games. Cut the crap. You're the hunter, right? He summons a glowing sword out of thin air. He accuses Guye of trying to hide his hunter's scent with the flowers and holds the blade to his throat. Take me to the king of Wu Qi, he demands. Guye just laughs it off, playing innocent. But then he pulls out a glowing green feather. Do you know this item? Li Chen freezes, his eyes wide with shock. How come you have this? Back inside, a pink-haired streamer is live, capturing the magic projections for her followers, complaining that Gina is usually more popular. She marvels at what she thinks is another projection. A strange bird beast. Outside, Li Chen and Gina see the chaos. Gina whispers a plan to act as bait, but before she can move, the beast swoops down and snatches her. The streamer, completely oblivious, cheerfully narrates, "Say hello to the beast." The creature flies off with our girl, knocking the streamer down in the process. Li Chen lunges after them, but he's not fast enough. The streamer gets up and starts screaming at Gina, accusing her of ruining her live broadcast. Gina realizes with horror that the beast's footprints are being filmed. This can't get out. Thinking fast, she leans in and gives the stunned girl a kiss on the cheek, distracting her with compliments. She then grabs a tablecloth to hide the evidence, mentally kicking herself for being so used to kissing Li Chen that it's now her go-to move. She decides to handle this herself and lures the beast away. She runs towards the empty part of the garden where she first met Guye, ducking into the nearby woods. Just as the beast closes in, a blade of light slices through the air. Swish. Li Chen appears, his sword drawn, having tracked the beast's scent. The creature squeals as an energy arrow pierces its wing. But this was just the baby. A much larger, more terrifying beast swoops down from the sky, landing protectively in front of its injured child. And just when you think things can't get worse, another figure steps out of the shadows. It's Guye's associate, coolly stating, "My hands were shaking, hence I aimed wrongly." Li Chen holds our girl close, his voice laced with worry as he asks if she's alright, but she's more concerned about him, pointing out his own injury before brushing hers off as just a little scratch. Suddenly the air is filled with the terrifying shrieks of the feather beasts. They're completely surrounded, the creatures driven into a chaotic frenzy. Li Chen realizes with dawning horror that the scent of blood has made them go crazy. One of the monsters lunges, its sharp talons digging into his shoulder. As he grunts in pain, our girl snaps into action. "Put your head down," she yells, throwing something at the beast to distract it. It works. The bird screeches and recoils, and Li Chen is completely stunned by her quick thinking. Her secret weapon? A handful of chili powder. Absolutely savage. Meanwhile, their companions are struggling to fight off the horde, quickly running out of their makeshift weapons. The situation is looking grim. The archer, Gaye, is reaching his limit, and even Li Chen knows they can't possibly kill all of them. Blood splatters through the air, and Jina realizes they're fighting a losing battle. Taking charge, she yells for Gaye and Xiaoli to team up with them. The men look at her, shocked by her sudden command, but she screams, "If this goes on, we're done for." The stoic archer is the first to agree, giving a curt nod. Xiaoli, ever the charmer, follows with a theatrical bow, declaring it his pleasure to serve her. And just like that, the new team leaps into action. Xiaoli's playing cards become lethal projectiles, slicing through the air and taking down two beasts instantly. They form a protective circle, with our girl safe in the center. Li Chen's mind is racing. He notices a strange agamwood scent on the other two men, and knows that even with their help, the odds are impossible. That's when Gaoye reveals a desperate, brilliant plan. There's a waterfall nearby with a huge net, perfect for a trap. The only question is how to lure hundreds of monsters there. As the men ponder the impossible task, our heroine finds her voice. "Maybe I can do it," she whispers, and Li Chen's head snaps towards her in shock. She's not joking. "I've come up with a plan," she says with newfound confidence. "Listen to me." After giving her orders, she doesn't waste a second. "Cover me now," she yells, before sprinting off alone into the terrifying darkness. Just as she planned, the entire flock ignores the men and swarms after her. Then, a heart-stopping realization hits her. This exact scene, the memory of her dream self running for her life flashes before her eyes, threatening to paralyze her with fear. But she pushes on, her lungs burning as she sprints through the trees. And then she sees it, the waterfall. With no time to think, she takes a flying leap of faith right off the cliff's edge, the screeching beasts diving right after her. As she plummets towards the water, a single thought consumes her. "Li Chen, if you can't catch me, I'm dead." And like an answer to a prayer, he appears, catching her safely in his arms midair. "I got you," he murmurs. The plan worked. The entire flock is tangled in the massive net below. Guo Ya shouts the order, "Xiaoli, reap the net," with a confident smirk. Xiaoli replies, "Yes." He gives the rope a powerful tug, sealing the trap. The beasts are completely ensnared, thrashing and screeching. Li Chen, still holding Jina, asks if they got them all. Guye gives a silent, confident okay sign from the other side. But just as relief washes over them, a new horrifying shriek echoes under the blood-red moon. The sound is agonizing, forcing them to clutch their ears in pain. The trapped birds go berserk, and some manage to break free, fleeing into the night as Li Chen wonders why that sound feels so familiar. He gently sets our heroine back on solid ground. She's confused why they've stopped, but he tells her he needs to find something. He approaches the very first bird that was shot down at the start of the attack. But with so many dead birds around, he realizes it's impossible to tell which was which. A chilling thought crosses his mind as he remembers Goye's impossibly perfect shot. Was he the real target all along? Just then, Goye's voice cuts through the tension, calling their names. He and Xiaoli are approaching them through the trees. In a flash of protective instinct, Jina shoves Li Chen behind her, shielding him with her own body. Yu Ye casually remarks on how fast they were, and our girl just laughs nervously, trying to play it cool. But her next move is anything but. She suddenly grabs the tiny Li Chen and crushes him in a hug, making him squeak that he can't breathe. "President Ga, gotta run," she chirps. "I'm taking this kid to find his brother, bye-bye." She tries to make a break for it, leaving a very confused Ga Ye in her wake. As she flees, she covers the little duke's eyes, asking where his brother Li Chen is. But Gu Ye stops her. "What a coincidence," he says smoothly. "His brother and I are also looking for him." Our girl starts to panic. She knows he's getting suspicious, and they need to leave now. Just then, the little boy in her arms shouts, "I saw my brother." Before she can react, the kid Lisi wriggles free and sprints off into the woods. Seizing the chance, Jina waves a hasty goodbye to Gaye, saying she'll help look for Li Chen too. Karen caught her person's iron bars had now alone in the creepy forest. Jina calls out for Li Chen. She hears a rustle in the bushes, and mutters that she's so tired she could destroy something. A voice replies, "What do you want to destroy?" It's Li Chen, back in his adorable child form. He immediately senses that something is wrong with the forest. He points to the loose soil, noting that someone was here before them. His eyes narrow. He has a suspicion. Suddenly, the beam of a flashlight cuts through the dark. Without a word, Jina scoops up the tiny duke and runs for it. After a moment, he asks why they're running from a security guard. That's when she realizes with a jolt, they've been going in circles. The horrible truth dawns on her. This forest is a maze. Li Chen sighs, asking if he'll have to fly them out and break their one kiss a day rule. But she has another idea, rattling off a series of impossibly confusing directions that somehow she perfectly remembers. And it works. They emerge from the maze onto a red carpet leading directly to a waiting car. He is absolutely stunned. They hop into the cab, finally safe, and our girl's cheerful mood returns as she jokes with the driver. Finally back in their apartment, Li Chen is about to change when she calls out to him. He turns to see her holding a first aid kit. "Come here," she says softly. "Let me apply medicine for you." He flatly refuses, and her face falls into the most adorable pout. She pinches his cheek, chiding him for being difficult. Then her expression softens. "You were injured because you protected me," she says. "At least let me help." He gets completely flustered as she cups his face, but then she tells him to take everything off so she can check for other wounds, and he explodes, calling her a shameless female rascal. A moment later, a blushing, shirtless Li Chen sits on the couch as she dabs ointment on his scratch. She mentions that the forest felt like a magical formation. He's shocked she noticed, and she playfully pokes his wound, making him yelp. "You did," she teases, telling him he deserved it for not telling her sooner. She sighs, admitting that maybe she's just being paranoid, but they're not alone. Far away, a sinister figure watches them through a telescope, whispering, "The seeds are planted." Back inside, she tries to give him some pills for the scratch, but he stubbornly refuses. She's not taking no for an answer. As he tries to argue, she just shoves the pills right into his mouth. The simple action triggers a horrifying, traumatic flashback. He's a child again, being held down and force-fed unknown medicine. He remembers the absolute terror of trying to run away from his captors. The memory climaxes with the image of his own mother stabbing him. The shock sends him into a violent coughing fit in the present, and Gina rushes to his side in alarm. When she reaches for him, he violently slaps her hand away, screaming, "Don't touch me." He immediately recoils, looking small and fragile as he apologizes. Iron Girl looks at him for a long moment, and then a mischievous glint appears in her eye. Before her can react, she scoops him up into her arms. She ignores his protests and carries him straight to his room, telling him he needs to rest. She gently tucks him into bed, leaving him stunned and speechless under the covers. With a confident wink, she says, "You're welcome. This is what a beauty should do." He just watches her go, a thousand emotions swirling in his golden eyes. Another memory surfaces, a past life where she was tending to his wounds. He remembers comforting her, telling her not to cry, because he was just careless. He gently wiped away her tears. The memory fades, leaving the little Duke alone with his thoughts in the present. In her room, Gina decides to call it a night. She glances at her sleeping pills but decides she's tired enough to sleep without them. But her sleep is not peaceful. She finds herself back in Guye's garden, trapped in the nightmare maze once again. Suddenly, massive talons swipe at her from the shadows. The feather beasts are back. She's running for her life, a tiny pawn on a terrifying map, hunted by monsters. A giant bird corners her, its shadow swallowing her whole. But then she notices something. The beasts are trapped by the maze's foliage. It hits her. The maze isn't for people. It's a trap for the feather beasts. Back in the real world, that same high-pitched shriek echoes through the night. The sound disturbs Li Chen, who tosses and turns in his sleep. He cries out, caught in a terrible nightmare. He's in agony, and dark, blood-like tears begin to stream down his face, and then his eyes snap wide open. Under the blood-red moon, a man stumbles home, drunk and happy, but his celebration is cut short by a sudden, sharp squeak. Before he can even process the sound, a massive, terrifying creature descends from the sky. It's a monstrous feathered beast, and his screams are the last thing anyone hears. From a nearby window, a small winged boy watches the horror unfold. With a determined look, he pulls up his hood and smashes through the glass. He lands outside, his beautiful wings spread wide, but the loud crash echoes through the house. The sound startles our girl, Gina, who bolts upright in bed. She sees the boy, Li Chen, shaking violently, his wings damaged and weak. He collapses to the ground in a heap of broken glass and feathers. Gina rushes to his side, her heart pounding. "Li Chen, what happened to you?" She touches his forehead and flinches. He's burning with a raging fever. She remembers him saying he had a special body type, but this is no ordinary illness. She brings him medicine, trying to get him to drink. But he's completely unconscious, and the liquid just spills from his lips. A desperate idea forms in her mind. Saving a life is more important, she tells herself, trying to steel her nerves. Taking a deep breath, she puts the medicine in her own mouth. She leans down, pressing her lips to his, praying he'll be too out of it to ever remember this moment. As the morning light streams in, she gives him the life-saving kiss, but just as she pulls back, his eyes flutter open. Busted. He whispers her name and pulls her down into his arms. "Li Chen," she cries, scrambling. He looks at her with feverish, panicked eyes. "Gina, there's danger, run away," he pleads, still trapped in a nightmare. She tries to soothe him, telling him they're safe. Finally, her words get through, and he collapses back onto her, relieved. As he sleeps, she blushes, realizing he called her by her full name. The next morning, Li Chen wakes up, feeling much better. He finds Gina, who seems suspiciously cheerful. "You're awake," she chirps, hiding something behind her back. She whips out a temperature gun, pointing it at him like a secret agent. "Don't move. Raise your hands." He's completely baffled until she explains his fever is gone. He murmurs that he only gets a fever when, but he cuts himself off, not finishing the thought. He's also back in his adult form, and he looks at her with a sly grin. "I'm curious how I turned back. There's only one possibility. You kissed me while I was asleep." Our girl goes beet red and shoves a piece of paper in his face to change the subject. It's a map of the hunter's maze from the hotel. He explains it's a formation meant to repel feather beasts like him, and that the shady President Gyu designed it himself. Gina suggests they investigate together, as friends. At the word friends, Li Chen freezes. A heart-wrenching flashback hits him, a time when he was surrounded and called a monster who could never have friends. His face falls. "I don't have friends," he says quietly, his eyes filled with a deep sadness. Noticing his sudden change, Gina checks his forehead for a fever again. He quickly recovers, a small smile returning to his face. "Yes, we are friends," he agrees. With their new partnership sealed, they decide to investigate Guye again. They march right into Guya's company building, but the receptionist stops them cold. They need an appointment. When Gina asks to make one, the receptionist smiles sweetly and offers them a slot for November of next year. Defeated, they retreat to a convenience store to spy from across the street. Gina complains that Gui's staff is on another level of security, complete with a riot squad apparently. But our girl has a plan. She's infiltrated Guya's fan club and snagged his entire itinerary. The next morning, a very sleepy Gina is dragged out for an early morning jog. Li Chen teases her for being exhausted after pulling an all-nighter for her broadcast. Suddenly, she spots their target and waves excitedly. But it's the wrong guy. AW Kegward. The man turns out to be a fan of her broadcast and gets way too handsy trying to take a selfie. Li Chen is not having it. He steps in, grabs the man's wrist, and pulls Gina away. "Let's go," he says, his grip firm on her hand. As they walk off, she can't help but wish this moment would last a little longer. Plan A was a bust, so they move on to Plan B, stalking his breakfast spot. But Li Chen has a better idea. 2 hours later, they're undercover as hotel cleaning staff. They learn Goya's office is on the top floor, but it requires a special key card. And what do you know, Prince Charming just happens to have one. He really is a prince after all. Suddenly, a truck rumbles outside, and they both turn to look. Li Chen's senses go on high alert. The hunter's smell gets stronger, he warns, pulling Gina close. Meanwhile upstairs, the man himself, President Ge, is receiving a suspicious package. He opens it with a chillingly sinister smile. Their infiltration attempt fails miserably, and they get kicked out by a manager for using the wrong elevator. Dejected, they head home to prepare for Gina's broadcast. All while Guye plots his next move, smirking to himself. That night, as they're ending their live stream, Li Chen stops her. He points out a comment about a new event, a dinner with Guye. She quickly signs off and reads the details. The most popular host on the platform gets to have dinner with him. This is their chance, but Li Chen is suspicious of the timing. Gina is ready to go all in, but she's not ready for what Li Chen says next. He leans in close, his voice a low whisper. The next morning, Gina is already hard at work, analyzing their popularity rankings. They're in 10th place, and the gap is huge. But our girl has a master plan, complete with strategies to boost viewership and fan engagement. Li Chen just watches her, completely captivated by her determination. They dive headfirst into streaming, playing games together. After a marathon session, Gina collapses in exhaustion. Li Chen gently thanks her for her hard work and hands her a flower-shaped biscuit she'd mentioned offhandedly before. She's so touched that he remembered. Their hard work is already paying off. They've jumped to 5th place. With renewed energy, they share the snack, ready for the next battle. Here we go. Buckle up, buttercups, because things are about to get chaotic. Our girl Gina is staring at the live stream rankings with pure dread. They're stuck in 3rd place with only 2 days left, and she's starting to sweat. She turns to her silver-haired partner in crime, asking if there's any other trick up their sleeve. Li Chen gives her a sly look, saying, "Yes, but I don't feel like telling." "Oh, you did not just say that." Our girl's eyes narrow. She whips out his phone with a savage glint in her eye. "I'll spend all the money in your phone wallet if you don't tell me," she threatens. This is financial warfare, people. He immediately panics, trying to snatch his phone back as she lunges for it. "How dare you?" he shrieks before his resolve crumbles. "Tell me and I won't spend it. Tell me now." She stands there, victorious, as he caves completely. He finally spills the beans. His grand plan is to cooperate with the #1 host to stir up some drama. But then he drops a bombshell. "I'll host with Xiaoli tonight," he says calmly. "You can rest." Gina is floored, asking him why. She reminds him of their little disagreement at the banquet, but he just brushes it off as an accident. He looks away, his voice softening. "It's me who wanted to look for you," he murmurs, "hence you have to work so hard." But our girl isn't having any of his pity party. "No," she declares, "sprinting for 1st place is also my goal." She tells him that's what friends are for, to help each other out. She's getting ready for the broadcast, and he can take the day off. She gently brushes a stray piece of hair from his face, her touch so tender it makes your heart ache. Then she stretches, trying to shake off the stiffness from a long night of streaming. As she stretches, he just watches her from the floor. But his mind is somewhere else entirely. He's flashing back to a cold, heart-wrenching memory. A woman who must be his mother holds his tiny winged hand, telling him he'll be on his own. He pleads with her. "Mother, it's not like that." The memory fades, and he's back in the present, a small gentle smile on his face as he watches Gina. The contrast is just devastating. Later, our girl is back on the air rocking some absolutely adorable cat ear headphones. The chat is buzzing, asking where Prince Li Chen is. She has to break the bad news that he can't make it today. And just like that, the viewership plummets. Her face falls. Oh no, she scrambles to save the stream, frantically telling everyone to wait, because another prince is joining. and right on cue, a shadow falls over her. It's Li Chen, dressed in a stunningly ornate outfit. "Why are you here?" he asks, his voice low. "Didn't I ask you to rest?" Before she can answer, he leans in, tilting her chin up with a dangerously possessive look. "Do you have other princes besides me?" he purrs. The chat absolutely explodes. He leans closer, reminding her he told her to rest. She sputters, "I don't dare to rest. If I rest any further, then you may change to another prince." The two start bickering like an old married couple, and it is pure entertainment. She orders him to stand up, and he shrinks into a tiny pouting chibi. She declares she's going to turn him into an idiot, and honestly, we are here for it. She announces the next segment, a shared broadcast. Li Chen can't resist a little jab. "Yes, you want to change to another prince, right?" he teases, sticking his tongue out. She connects with Prince Xiaoli, and bam, a massive explosion of blue fire erupts on screen. Gina is so startled she claps her hands over Li Chen's eyes. "Prince Xiaoli, if you appear this way again, I'm going to call the fire alarm." The magician prince just laughs, apologizing for the scare. Xiaoli clarifies that she didn't frighten him, she frightened their prince. Li Chen looks smug, thinking to himself that facing his rivals isn't so bad after all. Gina, ever the professional host, suggests they have a magic showdown. Xiaoli is in, and a jealous Li Chen immediately chimes in. "I can do that too." Oh, it is on. The battle of the princes begins, with Gina keeping score. A point for Li Chen, a point for Xiaoli. The two handsome men face off, pulling out all the stops with doves and sparkling magic. The stream goes on, and our poor girl is starting to fade. The two princes tell her to stay out of it, claiming it's a matter of a man's dignity, as they brandish a rose and a tiny hamster. Finally, at 1 in the morning, Li Chen performs a final good-night trick. Paper cranes flutter through the air as Gina finally succumbs to exhaustion, falling asleep right at her desk. He quietly closes her laptop, his expression softening as he looks down at her peaceful face. He gently scoops her up, carrying her from the chair. He lays her down and pulls the covers over her, but even in her sleep, she's a menace, kicking out and muttering about setting fires and calling the police. He dodges the kick with a weary sigh and a little wave. This man has the patience of a saint. He finishes tucking her in, watching her for a moment before leaving. The moon shines outside. The next morning, Gina wakes up in her bed, completely bewildered. "When did I fall asleep?" She walks out into the living room to find Li Chen already awake and on his laptop. He greets her and immediately asks if she's running a fever again. He's such a worrywart. "Look," he says, holding up his phone. She can't believe her eyes. They've shot up to second place. He explains that while she was sleeping, he set up a face-to-face meeting with Xiaoli to settle things once and for all. He gives her a confident wink. He's got a plan. They head outside, with Gina live streaming their adventure on a selfie stick. She's still worried, asking why he wants to meet his rival. He says he has to solve the problem in a manly way, and her mind immediately jumps to a fistfight. She starts panicking, reminding him that violence is illegal. They meet up with Xiaoli, who's ready for a final showdown. This will decide the winner. And so the magic war continues on the streets, with Gina narrating the whole thing for their audience. The challenge: attract the most passers-by in 15 minutes. Xiaoli whips up some flashy blue flames and quickly draws a crowd of 10. Li Chen conjures a cloud of delicate butterflies, but only manages to attract 8 people. Gina starts to get nervous, but Li Chen is completely calm. "Don't worry," he says with a smirk. "It's impossible for me to lose." He tosses a single piece of paper into the air. The paper floats, then suddenly transforms midair into a razor-sharp arrow that plummets to the ground with a sickening thud, cracking the pavement. It lands inches from a bystander's foot. Gina screams that it's too dangerous, while both princes swear it wasn't them. She looks around, totally confused. If it wasn't them, then who? She stares at the arrow embedded in the concrete. But as she squats down for a closer look, a sudden sense of dread washes over her. Danger! Another arrow comes whistling down from the sky, aimed directly at her. "Giina, be careful," Li Chen screams. He moves in a flash, throwing himself over her to shield her with his own body, as the arrows rain down. They look up and see the attacker, a mysterious figure in a dark cloak perched on a nearby roof. The hooded archer draws his bow, screaming, "Monster, I'm going to kill you." But our girl Gina is fearless. She jumps right in front of Li Chen, hands on her hips, and yells back, "No personal attacks. Don't be jealous of my Li Chen's looks." What an absolute legend. The attacker seems flustered, tossing a roll of toilet paper before making a run for it. Gina yells at Li Chen to shoot him down. She even tries to arm him with a nearby broom. The crowd, meanwhile, is completely clueless, thinking this is all part of the show. Xiaoli approaches, asking if these are her actors. She's a stuttering mess, unable to explain, and he smirks, knowing something is up. Back at Gu Ya's office, his assistant is giving him an update. Gina's stream is about to hit #1, thanks to the dramatic attack. President Gu's eyes widen in absolute fury as he sees the footage. He storms out of his office without a word. He arrives at a loading dock and orders a truck to be opened. The doors swing open to reveal empty crates. His blood runs cold. "Oh no," he whispers. "Is it an early awakening?" He spots a running figure and bellows, "Stop right there." It's a full-on chase scene. Li Chen is pursuing the hooded archer, demanding answers. The archer spins around, screaming traitor, and hurls an entire planter pot at him. Li Chen dodges just in the nick of time as the pot smashes against the wall behind him. But in that split second, the attacker vanishes. Li Chen is left alone in the alley, his mind racing. Gina calls out to him, and he turns around, forcing a smile to reassure her. Nearby, the crowd that gathered for the magic show erupts into applause, totally unaware of the real danger. Karen caught her precisely below. Ling tips his hat, conceding defeat. "You won this street magic competition," he says. "Congratulations." But he's not giving up on the war. However, your live broadcast popularity is still not as high as mine, he declares. With the challenge set, Gina ends the broadcast. Suddenly, Li Chen grabs her hand and starts pulling her away. "What happened?" she asks. He says desperately, "I can't hold it anymore. Quickly let me." He pins her against a wall. His face inches from hers, his expression intense. A moment later, the transformation hits, and he's back in his tiny child form, which she immediately scoops up. She orders him a kid's meal to recover. As they eat their burgers, she brings up the archer. She remembers a familiar scent from Guye's hotel and wonders if he's the one behind the attack. Just then, her eyes drift across the plaza, and she sees the man himself, President Guye. He looks furious, and Li Chen is shocked to see him there. Li Chen decides to investigate the alley where the archer disappeared, and Gina refuses to let him go alone. "I need you to borrow me some power," he says, looking at her seriously. She blushes. She knows exactly what that means. Without another word, he pulls her into a passionate kiss, and a brilliant light envelops them both. "Alright, let's dive right in." Our duo is having a moment, blushing and flustered after getting a little too close for comfort. They quickly try to play it cool, discussing their last mission. Basamet Alanmayada Minjek Aramet, Imanad the Koina Mindo. Looking up at the towering building, he decides, "Let's go check it out." It seems the chase was intense, with Li Chen literally sweeping our girl off her feet to escape a mysterious cloaked figure on the rooftop. Gina spots a crucial clue hanging from a pole. "There, it looks like something is hanging," she exclaims. She instantly recognizes the black feathered object as something that was on the archer. But after that, the trail runs cold. "There are no more clues," she says, disappointed. Li Chen's jaw sets with grim determination. He knows what he has to do. Seems that we can only sprint to the first and deal directly with Guye face to face. And just like that, we're in a completely different scene. Our couple is all dressed up, playfully recreating the iconic Titanic pose on a balcony. "You jump, I jump," Li Chen declares dramatically, before breaking character and getting down to business. The scene shifts again, and the pressure is on. They're in an office, about to check the results of a huge live streaming competition. Gina's hand trembles over the mouse, her nerves getting the best of her. "I am not ready yet," she whispers. But Li Chen is her rock, standing right behind her. "You have to believe in your own popularity," he says, his voice a warm comfort. With a deep breath, she clicks, and bam, first place. Li Chen is ecstatic. "It's number one. Gina, look." Our girl is in total shock, her eyes wide. "So, that means I'm really number one? Unbelievable, they did it." Li Chen pulls her into a tight, celebratory hug. "We did it. That's great," he beams. He holds her close, his eyes full of pride. "You deserve it, Gina. This victory is huge, because now they can finally get their face-to-face meeting with the elusive President Gok." But as Gina looks at the final rankings, she notices something odd. A user named William swooped in at the last second, with a massive reward, pushing her to the top. She vows to find and thank this mysterious benefactor. Their prize? An exclusive dinner invitation on President Gok's ridiculously luxurious private yacht. Gina, looking absolutely stunning in a white dress, tells her fans all about it while live streaming from the beach. While she's busy with her stream, Li Chen notices something strange in the water's edge and kneels down to investigate. Suddenly, a massive wave erupts from the ocean. Li Chen snatches Gina out of harm's way, just in time. "Stealth attack," he yells. "Be careful." But it turns out to be a false alarm. Just some guy fishing a little too enthusiastically. A little embarrassed, they head toward the yacht where a man is waiting to welcome them aboard. As they walk up the ramp, a monstrous clawed hand slinks onto the wooden dock behind them, completely unseen. Inside, the yacht is a dream, filled with decadent desserts and priceless art. Gina is like a kid in a candy store, snapping pictures of everything. As she takes a selfie with Li Chen, he says something cryptic. "You can't be with me forever." So of course, the festive mood shatters instantly. Gina freezes, her smile vanishing. Li Chen's expression turns deadly serious. He grabs her hand, his voice tight with emotion. "What did you mean I can't be with you forever?" The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Just then, a smooth voice cuts in. "Am I disturbing?" It's President Ga himself. Li Chen, ever the cool customer, releases Gina and replies, "Not at all. We're here just for you." Guya approaches them, a smirk playing on his lips. "For me?" Li Chen drops the bomb. "For your identity." Guya reveals the shocking truth. "You are the descendant of a hunter who guards the Wu Qi clan." Li Chen is stunned, dismissing it as a myth. But Guye is confident, challenging him to prove his own identity as the prince of the Wu Qi clan. Li Chen cuts to the chase. "I just want to find out the whereabouts of the Wu Qi clan," he states, his gaze unwavering. But Gina isn't buying Guye's act. She pulls Li Chen aside, whispering, "That's the same excuse he used to fool us last time." Li Chen squeezes her hand reassuringly. "Don't worry, I have a plan." Our girl decides to take matters into her own hands. She boldly approaches Guye, showing him a photo on her phone. "Have you seen this person before?" Guye denies it, but Gina leans in closer, her voice a low whisper. "I know where he is, and I haven't told Li Chen." The threat is clear. She knows about the agam wood, his weakness. Yua's speechless, completely caught off guard. Suddenly the entire yacht lurches violently. The table overturns, and Gina screams as Li Chen desperately calls her name. He catches her just in time. "Why is this yacht shaking so much?" she cries. Liu Yai looks absolutely horrified. A massive clawed hand smashes against the window. Is there a problem with the seal? Go Ye mutters in panic. With a terrifying roar, the glass shatters, and a horrifying fish-like water monster crashes into the room. Kie yanks its tail, trying to keep it away from them. Gina screams in terror, recognizing the beast. Isn't it the one that appeared when I woke you up last time? Li Chen's eyes narrow. Looks like it. The monster thrashes wildly. Let's go to the deck. Gu Ye shouts, leading the way. They sprint for the exit, but the monster is hot on their heels. Watch me. Li Chen yells, and with a powerful shove, he flings the heavy metal door shut, trapping the creature. Gina is in awe. Amazing, but their relief is short-lived. More monsters appear, growling and scratching at the door. Li Chen suspects the monsters are the shipwreck. He grabs the nearest object, a mop, and declares, let's catch one and see. He leaps into action, swinging the mop like a pro warrior, while Gina bravely fends off another monster with a well-aimed trash can. It hits the monster square in the head, and it faints dead away. Li Chen, fueled by pure adrenaline, roars, how dare you touch Gina without my approval? He looks so incredibly cool, and Gina's heart does a little flutter. Why does he look so handsome even when holding a mop, she thinks, completely smitten. Guwei arrives, having subdued one of the creatures himself. The danger isn't over yet, he warns. On deck they see two monsters have escaped, likely to get reinforcements. Guiya then drops another bombshell, taunting Li Chen. Don't you know that this water monster is the guardian of the Wu Qi clan? Li Chen clutches his head, screaming in agony. Li Chen freezes, the revelation hitting him like a physical blow. Suddenly a high-pitched, ear-piercing sound echoes across the water. It's that voice again, he gasps. His eyes turn a horrifying, soulless black. He stumbles back in a daze, completely out of it. No, I can't stay here, he cries. Just then, a slimy green hand shoots out of the water and grabs his arm. Before anyone can react, he's yanked over the railing and into the dark ocean. Gina screams his name, ready to dive in after him. But Gu Ye holds her back. The water is not safe. Stay here. With a final determined look, Gu Ye plunges into the depths. Underwater, he finds Li Chen in the monster's grasp. The creature seems surprised by Gao Ye's arrival, and in its confusion, it lets go of Li Chen and flees into the darkness. Karen caught her precisely below. You know magic. They haul him back onto the deck. Li Chen is pale and still. Gina kneels by his side, her voice trembling. He's not awake yet. Is there something wrong? Li Chen groans, his mind trapped in a painful memory. He sees a vision of a red magic circle, a woman from his past bidding him a tearful farewell, and the water monsters surrounding a powerful, dark figure. The headache is unbearable. He coughs violently, spitting up water as he finally wakes up. Gina rushes to support him. Guayao explains his grim realization. The monsters were sealed with the Wu Qi clan, and they were triggered by someone trying to approach them. Gina's mind races. If Li Chen is the prince, the guardian shouldn't attack him, which means there's only one other possibility. The two men stand facing each other under the full moon, the unspoken truth hanging heavy in the air. Gyoye's expression is serious. Let's have a talk. Here we go again. The dinner from hell is in full swing, and the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Our little nugget sits frozen, sensing the storm brewing between the two men. She's just hoping they don't start another fight. Li Chen breaks the icy silence. I want to find King Wu Qi and ask him to lift the curse, he says with grim determination. But Gu Ye immediately snaps back. You mean you want to kill him, right? I won't let you do that. Yu Ye leans back, a smug look on his face. So you finally admit you're a hunter, he taunts. And what about you? Are you a spy for the Feather Clan or just a disgrace to the Wu Qi? That does it. Li Chen's eyes flash with a dangerous light. Say it again, he growls. In a literal flash, he's out of his seat and has a blade pressed against Gu Ye's throat. Leaning in close, he snarls. Am I wrong? But Gu Ye doesn't even flinch as Li Chen's eyes begin to glow with pure, unadulterated rage. Suddenly Li Chen cries out, clutching his head in agony. Gina leaps to her feet, screaming his name. She knows what this is. She quickly turns to Gu Ye. Excuse me, President Gu, I need a moment with Li Chen. Without waiting for an answer, she grabs his hand and pulls him towards the stairs, trying to get him away from the conflict. He's stumbling, clearly in immense pain, and she pleads with him to stay conscious. She knows she can't push him, terrified he might transform right here. But instead of transforming, he yanks her forward, crashing his lips against hers in a desperate, searing kiss. He holds her tight, pulling back for just a fraction of a second, before deepening the kiss, pouring all his pain and passion into it. She's completely caught off guard, melting in his arms. Downstairs, Wu Ye awkwardly looks away, a blush creeping up his neck. They're so in love, but couldn't they do this somewhere private? He flashes back to the first time they met, and then to when Li Chen appeared out of nowhere to sweep her into a hug. A thought clicks in his mind. Could there be a connection? Upstairs, Li Chen finally pulls away, looking weak and exhausted. Wondering if he overdid it, fighting the monster. No, he pants, his hand trembling. It's the curse. Her expression hardens with resolve. Let's go. We're going to find Gu Ye, and get a straight answer right now. They march back downstairs, and Li Chen makes his case. I want to find King Wu Qi, for Gina's curse, so she can return to a normal life. But Gu Ye isn't buying it. He scoffs. In my eyes, the monsters were just props to cover up your real purpose. Gina flinches, a sudden realization dawning on her. She wasn't actually injured in the attack. Guya presses his advantage. Are you saying we're not just acting? Li Chen is silent, trying to figure out how to convince the stubborn man. An idea sparks in Gu Ya's mind. He reveals that the ancestral feather holds memories, and demands Li Chen show it to him to prove his intentions. I will never let you get close to the Wuqi clan until you tell me your true purpose, he declares. Li Chen agrees to the terms. Really? Gu Ya asks, a hint of surprise in his voice. Li Chen gives a firm nod. The two men lock eyes and shake hands, sealing their oath. No turning back now. But our girl is on another planet entirely. First we have a live broadcast, she cheers, waving excitedly. Kieran watches her go, a small smile on his face. Her career determination is really strong, he muses, waving a polite goodbye. Gina is already deep in conversation with Gu Ye, completely missing the death glare Li Chen is sending his way, as she leads the president off. Later that evening, Li Chen tells her to go rest. Let me go for my live broadcast, he says gently. Why can't I stay with you? She asks, confused. He looks away, his voice quiet. You can't keep staying by my side. Her heart drops. Why not? That's what you said on the boat. In an instant he has her pinned against the wall, his arms trapping her. She stares up at him, her eyes wide with confusion and a little bit of fear. What did you say? He just looks at her, his expression a storm of conflicting emotions. Flustered, she ducks under his arm. I need to go for my live broadcast, she stammers, running away. She quickly starts her stream, putting on a happy face for her fans. As she's waving, Li Chen watches her, thinking she's acting strange. He leans in and gives her a soft kiss on the cheek, right on camera, leaving her a blushing, smiling mess. The chat goes absolutely ballistic. Gina sees a message from a tycoon and thinks, even his good night is a word of gold. As soon as the broadcast is over, a younger boyish-looking Li Chen hands her a phone. Gina, someone is calling you. It's the Liu platform. She takes the phone from his hand and quickly scurries outside to answer it, her heart pounding. Damn, he's too attractive, she thinks. The little Li Chen pouts, wondering what secrets she's hiding, and shamelessly eavesdrops on her conversation. She comes back inside, practically glowing with happiness. Is there any good news, he asks. She winks playfully. I'll tell you tomorrow. Let's sleep early. The next morning, she's dressed to kill in a sharp business outfit. We have to talk about business today, she announces, handing him a set of clothes. With a final wave, she heads out the door, calling, Li Chen, let me tell you the good news. But inside the bedroom, Li Chen is in agony. The curse is taking hold, black patches spreading across his angelic wings. Gina knocks, calling his name, but gets no response. She pushes the door open to find the room completely empty. Then she spots a note on the bed. I go out for training and will come back later. She crumples the note in frustration and heads out alone. Meanwhile, Li Chen is hidden away, his body contorting in pain. A monstrous black claw bursts from his hand. Time is running out. Our girl arrives at a cafe, checking her watch. He's not here yet. A smooth voice cuts through the air. We meet again, Miss Gina. She turns and her jaw drops. It's the creep who pretended to be her ex. It's you. He just gives her a confident, infuriating smirk. Why are you here? Were you following me? She demands, noticing the fake scars on his face are gone. He leans in, his smile widening. What if I say yes? After some very confusing explanations, she's laughing nervously. So it was all a misunderstanding. Definitely not, she chirps, already thinking about the potential business deal. He gets right to the point, asking about endorsements. He slides a brochure across the table. Her eyes go wide. It's for the TG team, her absolute favorite gaming team. As she flips through it, a thought hits her. Wait, does he have something to do with them? Clank. The door flies open, and a guy oozing cool walks in. He carelessly tosses his backpack on the table, making Gina jump. The thing you want is here, he says, his voice muffled by his mask. Next time, don't call me for such a small matter. Boss Wei Lian just laughs it off. The newcomer pulls down his mask, and Gina feels her soul leave her body. It's Flames, the #1 player in the league, her idol. She is absolutely speechless. She completely fumbles her words, trying to tell him she's his idol before correcting herself in a fluster. He just lets out a little puff of laughter, clearly amused. My boss watches your live show every day, Wei Lian explains. He then tells Flames to take a picture with his biggest fan. Gina is in heaven as they snap a quick selfie. She waves him off, still giddy. As long as you're happy, he says with a smile. Now it's time for business. I came to you because I'm looking for a spokesperson for a project, Wei Lian says. He places a high-tech camera on the table. Oh, this brand is so expensive, she admits honestly. I've never used it. She immediately panics, thinking she's just blown her chance. But Wei Lian is unfazed. These are the products the TG team is using. Go back and try them out. Then we'll talk more. Our girl is seeing dollar signs. He smiles warmly. It would be my greatest honor if Miss Gina likes these products. She's already admiring the camera, her future looking brighter than ever. Our boy Li Chen offers a peace treaty in the form of baked goods. He shyly presents a pineapple bun, remembering it's our girl's absolute favorite. She takes the treat, but his adorable pouty face is still a little downcast. Be good, eat more, she says, trying to cheer him up. But hold on, they're being watched. The smirking suit Wei Lian is staring them down from his car with an absolutely icy gaze. Our heroine, ever the gentle soul, offers to hold Li Chen's expensive shopping bags for him. She gently takes the bag from his hands. Li Chen takes a bite of the bun. But as he chews, his eyes suddenly fly open in shock. A chaotic, terrifying vision crashes into his mind, without warning. He's thrown back into a past life, dressed in ancient robes and looking wounded. A guard's frantic voice screams a report. Li Chen has escaped. A furious nobleman slams his hand down, roaring at his men from behind a screen. Useless. You are all rubbish, he bellows. The man steps into view, his face a mask of cold fury, as he demands to know where Yi Yue is. And who do we see among the guards? A familiar, sinister smirk. Have you caught her? The The vision shatters, and back in the present, Li Chen flinches as if he's been physically struck. He stumbles, looking completely shaken by the heart-wrenching memories still echoing in his mind. From a distance, Wei Lian watches with a cool, calculating smile. A dark thought surfaces from a hidden observer. This man is worse than Gu Ye. That's it. Li Chen snaps into action. He swoops in, grabs our girl, and literally leaps away with her in his arms. She's shocked, yelling that he's being rude, but he just snaps back that she was talking too long and he wants her to stay away from that person. Utterly bewildered, she asks for a reason. His galaxy brain excuse? He doesn't smell right. Yeah, our girl is not buying that for a second. She lets out an exasperated sigh, calling him out for his bizarre behavior. She scolds him for starting new drama with Wei Lian when he hasn't even figured out the last mess. Since you showed up, there's no one around me anymore, she complains, her head aching from the stress. He reaches for her, a determined look on his face. He grabs her shoulders, pulling her close as romantic flower petals drift around them. Her heart stammers. Is this it? Is he finally going to confess? But no, he chickens out, his resolve crumbling. He just mutters that he's worried she's being deceived. Our girl's face falls in disappointment, and she pushes him away. Forget it, you don't understand, she says, leaving to start her broadcast. Hello everyone, I'm here, she chirps, kicking off her live stream with brand new headphones. Her fans immediately shower her with compliments. Noticing how pretty she looks with her new gear, she beams, announcing that thanks to her fans' support, she's landed her very first commercial job. In the background, Li Chen overhears this, and a flicker of confusion and hurt crosses his face. I'll go out for a while, he says quietly, turning to leave. She watches his lonely silhouette disappear, a strange feeling creeping over her. She tries to focus on her game, but her mind is somewhere else entirely. A fan asks where Prince Li Chen is, and she freezes, her hand hovering over her mouse, and she dies in-game. Forget it, she sighs, exiting the match. She leans back and drops the bomb on her chat. Prince Li Chen is not here. We had a fight. The chat immediately suggests she contact a relationship anchor named Fen Ni. Our girl's eyes widen with curiosity. She remembers hearing rumors of a mind-reading, black-robed Fen Ni. A savage idea forms. I must let Li Chen know his fault today. She connects to the mysterious veiled fortune teller. Fen Ni's voice is smooth as silk as she immediately guesses. The question you want to ask should be about right or wrong. Our girl is completely floored. The fortune teller smirks from behind her veil. You should ask, is it because he likes you? Our heroine freezes, rendered completely speechless. Fen Ni presses again, her voice teasing. You should ask. Gina is a blushing, stammering mess. He, like me? She blurts out to her empty room. It's not like that. Fen Ni changes tactics. Will you answer me a few questions, she says, her crystal ball glowing ominously. Question 1. When you were surrounded by the opposite sex, did he have a strong desire to protect you? A flashback of Li Chen yanking her away from Wei Lian appears. Yes, she admits quietly. Question 2. Does someone of the opposite sex around you always want to know what you like to eat and what your hobbies are? Memories of his small thoughtful gestures flood her mind. Alright, one last question. The fortune teller says, her tone serious. Someone of the opposite sex beside you. He is involved in everything about you, especially your interactions with other men. A vision of a possessive Gue flashes in her mind. She recalls all the times he's been possessive and overbearing. He will also develop jealousy and then behave strangely. More images flash by, Li Chen pulling her into his arms, his jealous glares. And then it finally clicks. So, actually Li Chen. Suddenly, her screen goes completely black. Is it a blackout? She cries out, confused. She finds herself floating in a dark, starry void, her own hands glowing with a soft, warm light. As she brings her hands together, a shimmering object materializes from the light. It's a beautiful, delicate necklace. She holds it up, mesmerized by its simple, elegant design. Then a memory hits her with the force of a tidal wave. She's in a jewelry store with Li Chen, fawning over this exact necklace. This shiny necklace, it's so heartwarming, she'd exclaimed back then. But then she saw the price tag, 3,000. Her face fell as she quickly said, forget it, let's go look elsewhere. Li Chen had looked at her, confused. Don't you like it? She'd brushed it off, saying it was too expensive, and tried to drag him to the phone store instead. The vision fades and she's back in her room, kneeling on the floor, clutching the necklace he must have secretly gone back to buy for her. Tears stream down her face as the heart-wrenching realization sinks in. So he actually remembers. She presses the precious gift to her chest, completely overwhelmed by his quiet, unwavering affection. Our girl turns away, a furious blush creeping up her neck. He leans in close, his voice a low whisper, as he says her name. Gina? She yanks her hand away, completely flustered. What are you doing? He's so calm it's infuriating, explaining he's just trying to help her with the necklace as her heart thumps wildly. He holds it up, asking if she likes it while the live chat absolutely explodes with praise. Smirking, he asks if his apology is sincere enough now. She huffs that since everyone thinks it's nice, she'll deign to forgive him. The two of them sit side by side, looking surprisingly cute together. Suddenly, a new object enters the frame, and our girl gasps in shock. It's an absolutely massive bouquet of yellow roses. The system helpfully chimes in that yellow roses are an apology gift for girlfriends. This is, he says the florist recommended them for an apology, just as the delivery person points him out. Internally, our girl is screaming with joy, but she plays it cool, slamming the flowers down and demanding to know what they are. She plays dumb, laughing it off and thinking to herself that it's probably better he doesn't know the real meaning behind the flowers. The scene flashes back to a memory of a firefly landing gently on her face. In the memory, he conjures a glowing, magical rose from thin air. He asks if this is the flower she wants, then promptly sells it to some adoring fans for $20. Back in the present, she gazes at the necklace he gave her, a complicated look on her face. She thinks he's a bit silly. His life seems so hard, but he never complains. Meanwhile, we see Li Chen looking stressed, juggling his phone and a set of cards. Later that night, she's fast asleep in her bed. She murmurs softly, lost in a deep sleep. Suddenly she's dreaming. She finds herself in ancient clothing, looking around in utter confusion. A tidal wave of water crashes towards her, and she lets out a terrified scream. Then, a historical version of Li Chen appears, bleeding from his arm. He screams her dream name. Yi Ye, run! Li cries out his own name as an archer takes aim. He falls to the ground, weak from his injuries. In a heart-wrenching moment, she throws herself in front of him, and an arrow pierces straight through her chest. The shooter is revealed a smirking, evil-looking Wei Lian. Our heroine jolts awake with a scream, panting heavily and clutching her chest. A voice cuts through her panic, asking, "Are you okay?" "Why are you here?" she stammers. He explains he heard her scream and rushed over, thinking it was a beast attack. He looks so genuinely concerned for her. Tears well up in her eyes as she whispers, "I am so scared." Without a second thought, she throws her arms around him in a desperate hug. He holds her tight, comforting her. "It's okay, I am here." He begins to tell her about his hometown, a faraway place, trying to calm her racing heart. He describes a beautiful rainbow that hangs in the sky there. "Hold my hand," he says softly, "and I'll take you to the hometown of the Wu Qi clan." He watches her, and her breathing finally begins to even out. Seeing that she's relieved, a gentle smile plays on his lips. But as he makes a move to leave, she grabs his hand, her voice trembling. "Don't go, I am still scared." He looks down at their joined hands, a little surprised, but he immediately agrees. "All right." He sits patiently by her bedside, promising to watch over her until she falls asleep. But she can't possibly sleep with him staring at her. After a moment of thought, she pats the other side of the bed. "All right," he agrees. "You sleep on this side." She finally drifts off to sleep. Her dreams shift to another vision of their past lives. This time a beautiful, ethereal scene underwater. He reaches out and gently touches her face. Then he leans in and gives her a tender kiss. The next morning, our girl's eyes snap open. She realizes Li Chen is sleeping right beside her, so close. A blush spreads across her face as she remembers she dreamed about him last night. She looks over at his peaceful sleeping form, and then she notices their hands are still tightly clasped together. Staring at his sleeping face, she can't help but think, "That's too cute." On impulse, she leans over and plants a little kiss on his forehead. His eyes fly open. "Are you taking advantage of me?" he asks, catching her red-handed. She flails, sputtering that she was just reaching for something. He's not buying it. She declares she's going to brush her teeth and practically leaps out of the bed to escape. She hops away, leaving him to watch her with an amused smirk. While brushing her teeth, she fumes to herself. "Idiot Li Chen, how dare he say I took his advantage?" She continues to grumble about his handsome face and his nice body. Her eyes go wide as she processes her own thoughts. How could I possibly? The realization hits her like a ton of bricks, leaving her completely stunned. I really like Li Chen. Our girl Gina and Li Chen are having a quiet breakfast. But the peace is shattered when a text message from Gu Yue comes in, asking to meet. She tells Li Chen she has to go get changed, but our boy isn't letting her go that easily. "Wait," he says, grabbing her arm. He asks if she's forgotten something, slyly reminding her about the little kiss she stole that morning. He leans back, looking way too pleased with himself. Gina absolutely short-circuits, blushing furiously. She stammers that it was just an accident. Li Chen is not convinced. He gives a wicked little smirk and a magical swipe of his finger. Suddenly, her necklace clatters to the floor. As she kneels to get it, he makes his move, gently cupping her face in his hands. "I came up with a great way to get even," he whispers, leaning in close before planting a kiss right on her lips. And it's a proper, heart-stopping kiss that leaves our girl completely breathless. She pushes him away, totally flustered. "You," but he just smiles, cheekily asking if he can kiss her again. She sputters about their agreement, but he's one step ahead. "Yes, I do," he purrs. "1 kiss a day." Her heart is practically beating out of her chest. She finally snaps, shouting that he's annoying before storming off. He's left on the floor looking like a kicked puppy. Alone, she tries to calm her racing heart, telling herself he only did it because she was going to see Gu Ye. But as she clutches her necklace, a sliver of doubt creeps in. Is it really nothing more? Later, all dressed up, they head to the hotel. Li Chen wonders aloud why President Gu lives in a hotel. Turns out, Gu Yue is being stalked, and the hotel has better security. Li Chen adds that he's been feeling watched too. They finally meet Gu Yue, and Gina playfully teases him, asking if he's the one watching them with binoculars. Yue freezes for a second, before telling them to head to the living room. The moment they're out of earshot, he hisses at his assistant to hide the binoculars. Busted! The stalker was him all along. Inside, Gina admires the view, pointing out she can see their apartment building. But Li Chen spots something else, a telescope, pointed directly at their home. The horrifying realization hits them both. Just then, Gu Yue walks in with a friendly smile, completely oblivious. They both give him the iciest side-eye in history. This guy is suspicious. He just gives them an innocent chibi look, asking what's wrong. Changing the subject, he asks if they know what he's holding. He explains that only the exiled prince can unlock the feather's secret. Li Chen steps up. With a flick of his wrist, he summons his own magical feather. It drifts down into his hand. He sighs, even though I don't want to admit it. He gazes at the glowing feather. That exiled prince is me. And with that, a massive brilliant magic circle erupts from him. Gina is in shock. He's really not from her world. He turns to her, his expression soft, and asks her to come here. He gently takes her hand, and they stand together in the light, a truly magical sight. Then Li Chen turns and taps Guye's forehead. President Gan's eyes widen in shock. These are the memories sealed in the feather, Li Chen explains, as visions of his past flash before them. But the memory is shattered by a volley of glowing green arrows. They're under attack. Arrows rain down from the sky, and Gina is frozen in terror. Li Chen screams her name and shoves her to safety. She turns just in time to see the unthinkable. Guye screams in horror as arrows pierce Li Chen's back, blood spraying everywhere. He collapses, and Gina rushes to his side, calling his name. In her grief and panic, she kisses him, a desperate tear-filled farewell. She sobs over his unmoving body, begging him to wake up. Just then, Guye bursts in with a medical team. Gina can only watch, tears streaming down her face. A week later, Li Chen is still unconscious in a hospital bed. The doctor delivers the bizarre news. They've run every test imaginable. The Yue demands to know what's wrong. The doctor's answer is baffling. The patient is just asleep. He clarifies that it's a completely normal human sleep, but they have no idea why he won't wake up. Peda suggests the cause might not be medical at all. Yue decides to investigate the history of Li Chen's clan, the Wu Qi, hoping to find a clue, but his research turns up nothing about magical comas. Meanwhile, our girl is doing her own digging, poring over an ancient scroll. She discovers a strange seal, a locked spirit formation. She tries to look it up online, but a sudden wave of exhaustion hits her. Still, she finds herself floating in a strange dark void. A blinding light appears before her, and it transforms into Li Chen, wearing ancient robes. He looks panicked, yelling at her to go away. A winged being seems to be trying to contain him. Gina feels an invisible force pulling her back, and she screams his name. She jolts awake on her floor with a gasp. Her eyes fall on the scroll. "This is the one," she exclaims, grabbing her phone. She frantically calls Guye, telling him she's found a clue. On the other end of the line, surrounded by a mountain of books, he replies, "What a coincidence, I've some clues here too." Alright, let's dive right in. Our girl lays out the whole crazy dream for President Gu, even showing him a diagram she drew of the locked spirit formation. He looks at it, explaining that this particular formation is used by the Feather Clan to deal with their rivals. She deflates a little, thinking she was searching for nothing, but he quickly reassures her. "No, you have found a very important discovery." He focuses on a key detail. "You said you dreamed of the locking formation." She stammers, It's like that," and his eyes sharpen with intensity. "You," he says, "are the dreamer." She's completely lost. Dreamer? What is that? He points to an ancient book, but the text is just squiggles to her. Our poor heroine is just getting dizzy. He then asks a pointed question. "Have you ever dreamed of images that you have never encountered in reality?" She nods slowly. A look of certainty crosses his face. "It's you then." He tells her she has a very special quality. She points to herself, absolutely bewildered. "I am very special? No way," she protests. "I've always been an ordinary person since young." But he drops a truth bomb that changes everything. "Right now, only you can save Li Chen." The gravity of the situation settles as they stand over Li Chen's still form in the hospital bed. He poses a heavy question. "If you needed to risk your life to save him, would you still go?" Looking down at the vulnerable man in the bed, our girl's face hardens with resolve. Without a single hesitation, she declares, "Go, I will definitely go." Gu explains the dangerous plan. As a dreamer, she can enter Li Chen's mind to find the location of the real-world formation. But there's a catch. He warns her that the truth is being hidden by a token within the dream. She looks at him, sensing there's more. "It is easy for dreamers to get lost in the dream world," he says grimly, "and fall into a deep sleep themselves." The final chilling warning lands. "If you get lost, then there is no one to save you." She takes a deep breath, her eyes filled with determination. "I understand." Clutching the feather that acts as her key, she closes her eyes, preparing to dive in. Her eyes snap open, but she's no longer in the hospital. She's floating in a vast, dark, empty void. Am I entering Li Chen's dream world? She wonders, holding the feather tight. The darkness is unsettling. She thinks of how bright and kind he usually is, a stark contrast to this lonely abyss. Just then, a glowing symbol materializes in the distance. She's arrived. She spots a figure, its back turned to her. Could this be the ghost she's supposed to find? It's an angelic being, its massive white wings hiding it from view. A smirk crosses our girl's face. Now is the good timing, she thinks, seizing the opportunity. She breaks into a run, charging toward the mysterious figure. But as she gets closer, the angel turns, and she gasps in shock. It has no face. The featureless angel simply points at her. The ground beneath her feet vanishes, replaced by a glowing portal. She lets out a scream as she plummets down into the light. Behind her, the angel turns fully, and the face of Li Chen is revealed, radiating a powerful light. His eyes slowly open. He thinks he heard Gina's voice, but dismisses it as a hallucination, hoping she stays far away from this dangerous place. The scene around him shifts, transforming into a grand ancient palace. Meanwhile, our heroine's world is turned upside down. She's looking at everything from a new perspective, as Li Chen's mother, an attendant, reports that the prince's adulthood ceremony is starting, and the woman's body begins to move on its own. Our girl panics. I can't control her body. She realizes she's trapped, a helpless observer inside a glass-like prison, forced to watch events unfold. As they walk, the mother's eyes land on a group of men in the courtyard. Our girl's eyes widen in shock. A man in a black cloak. He looks so familiar. They enter a room where a very young Li Chen is waiting. "Mother," he asks, turning around. He's hiding his hands behind his back. A horrifying realization dawns on our girl. This is the memory of Li Chen's bloody adulthood ceremony. The young prince looks absolutely terrified as a guard announces the king's arrival. The mother leans in, and Gina screams in her mind, "Hurry up and escape with Li Chen," but the woman can't hear her. Instead, she picks up a pair of scissors. Little Li Chen's eyes widen. "Mother, why are you holding the scissors?" She gives him a sickeningly sweet smile. "Your new jacket is a bit long. Let me trim it a bit, okay?" "Turn around," she coaxes gently, and the innocent boy obeys. The mother lifts the sharp scissors high, positioning them over his back. Then with a sickening snip, she plunges them into his flesh. He screams in agony, and our girl watches in absolute horror, her hand flying to her mouth. Blood drips from the wound onto the floor. The boy looks over his shoulder, his eyes filled with pain and betrayal. "Mother?" The woman's expression is chillingly serene. "Son, it's for your own good." The boy's world shatters. She places a hand on his shoulder and leads him out. "Let's go. Today is your adulthood ceremony." This is it. This is the heart-wrenching trauma he's been hiding. Tears stream down our girl's face as she finally understands the pain he's carried. As they walk, the mother whispers, "You are a prince. You have to smile." Li Chen winces. "It's painful." In an act of pure cruelty, she pinches his fresh wound. "You must smile," she repeats. The poor boy forces a pained smile, and our heroine screams inside. "You're his mother. You're being cruel." The woman just stares ahead. "Is that cruel?" she asks again, completely detached. "Is it cruel?" She looks down at her son's pained expression and praises him. "Very good. Keep it up." The scene rustles and shifts, and they are now watching from a distance. A shadowy figure slips into Li Chen's bedroom. "Who's that?" our girl thinks, but then a voice calls out to her. "Gina?" It's Li Chen's voice. A hand reaches out from a portal of pure light. "You shouldn't be here. Let me send you back," he says gently. She takes his hand, and with a powerful swish, she is ripped from the dream world. Her eyes flutter open. She's back in the hospital room, sitting on the couch, looking at Li Chen, who is still unconscious in the bed. The weight of her failure crashes down on her. Not only did she fail to save him, he had to save her. Clutching the feather, she makes a tearful vow. "Li Chen, I will definitely rescue you." Back in the dreamscape, Li Chen's spirit guide is furious. "Kid, the little girl went through a lot of trouble to enter your dream, and you waste your spiritual power to send her away." Li Chen looks down, his heart aching. She shouldn't have had to endure so much. The guide presses him. "Are you afraid she'll get hurt?" Li Chen flinches, admitting that she's already prone to nightmares. His face a mask of worry for her. In the real world, there's a click. A camera on a tripod is watching from a nearby building. Back at her office, our girl can't focus on work. All she can think about is saving Li Chen. She scrolls through pictures of a model named Flames, struck by how much he looks like Li Chen. The worry is eating her alive. And she makes a decision. Let's go see him at the hospital. As she walks, an eerie feeling creeps up her spine. "I feel like someone is following me." She glances over her shoulder, her heart pounding, and then breaks into a desperate sprint. She bursts into the hospital room, but her blood runs cold. The bed is empty. Li Chen is missing. What happened? Suddenly, the window shatters into a million pieces. A monstrous bird screeches as it crashes into the room, lunging right for her. She screams, but just before its talons can reach her, a single playing card zips through the air and embeds itself deep in the creature's head. A smooth voice cuts through the chaos. "I'm late. Princess Gina, you're not hurt, are you?" She turns to see her savior, the magician, standing there with a confident smirk, having arrived just in the nick of time. With a dramatic flourish, the magician pulls back a dark cloth, covering the gruesome scene from our girl's eyes. Underneath lies the bloody remains of the feathered beast that attacked them. With a snap of his fingers, the entire mess disappears into thin air. "That took care of it," he says with a cool smile. Our girl is stunned. "Is this magic?" she asks. He just shrugs. "Sort of." But our heroine is lost in thought, wondering how these monstrous feathered beasts could possibly exist in her world. Just then, a doctor walks up. "Hasn't the patient returned yet?" The magician doesn't miss a beat, smoothly lying that he had some personal business to attend to. He then turns to our girl, his expression suddenly serious. "What you just said, is Li Chen awake?" She looks down ashamed. "I'm sorry, we didn't take good care of Li Chen." He sighs, his playful demeanor gone. What happened to Li Chen? The story rewinds. The magician is walking with President Gu, who looks grim. Even Gina failed to wake up Li Chen. The magician agrees his condition is too strange, and they need to find another way. Suddenly, President Gu stops dead in his tracks. Wait, he spotted a single playing card on the floor. Li Chen's ward was arranged by me with a spell. The magician explains, his voice turning icy. The card was affixed to the door, but now it's fallen. He kneels down, his face pale. There's only one explanation. President Gu's eyes widen in horror as he realizes what it means. The door to Li Chen's room is cracked open. As President Gu cautiously pushes it open, he sees the horrifying truth. Squawk! A massive feathered beast bursts out of the room, sending him stumbling back in shock. Shit, the feathered beast is trying to steal Li Chen away. He screams. Inside, the creature has an unconscious Li Chen slung over its shoulder, ready for takeoff. It lets out a final triumphant squawk. Hurry up and chase them, President Gu yells, but it's too late. They can only watch as the beast smashes through the window and flies into the night sky. Bam! A glowing barrier slams down in front of the broken window, blocking their path. The magician grits his teeth. This is the Moonlight Wall of the Feather Clan. He explains that Li Chen was sealed back into a coma by the very beast he was trying to help. President Gu's mind races. Could it be that someone is manipulating it behind the scenes? The magician smirks, pulling out his phone. This is Li Chen's location. I believe we can find him right away. Oh, you sly dog, you put a tracker on him. He explains that he suspected someone might try to cause trouble, so he planted a tracking prop on Li Chen in advance. Absolutely savage. President Gu grabs the phone. I'll go get Li Chen back. The magician asks what he should do. You stay here, Ga orders, and tell Gina what's going on. That's the way it is, he says, already heading for the door. Back in the present, the magician finally comes clean to our girl. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hide it from you. I am an archer. Our girl's brain absolutely melts. What? It all clicks into place with heart-stopping clarity. She's the dreamer, he's the archer, and Li Chen is the half-blood prince. The people in the story all ran out, she thinks in a panic. She quickly pulls herself together. What do you want to do? The archer asks. She tells him she saw some images before leaving the dream world, clues that might help them find Li Chen. Her expression is dead serious. They immediately video call President Gaki, who's already on the move. They all sit down as our girl tries to remember the details. Before coming out, I passed by a long white corridor. She begins. There were several pictures hanging on the wall. She recalls an image of a feathered beast taking off, a tall building with the name Hengxing on it, and an open door marked with the number 123. Such a place, do you know where it is? She asks hopefully. President Yu answers instantly. Hengxing. The tallest building in the city is the Hengxing building. I'll go check it out. Our girl's face lights up. Really? Did I really help? His voice is gentle. You have always been helpful. She beams, reminding him to be safe. After he hangs up, the archer asks a pointed question. Why didn't you ask me to make sure to get Li Chen back? She gives him a look of pure trust. It's because I'm sure you will do that. President Ge, on the other end, hears this and allows himself a small touched smile before hanging up. Our girl is feeling good, but then a horrible thought occurs to her. I forgot to ask President Ge just why would someone want to steal Li Chen. The archer gestures for her to look at his phone. The text is chilling. He explains that when a member of the Feather Clan falls into a coma, one of two things happens. They lose their spiritual power and die, or they turn into an uncontrolled monstrous beast. He then asks, do you know how long Li Chen has before the mutation? From what President Cuckoo said, he continues, there are 7 days left. The word what echoes in her mind. The color drains from her face. No way. A new resolve hardens in her eyes. I have to go back to the dream world and find out the whereabouts of the locked spirit formation. She clutches the white feather, her determination absolute. Her eyes snap open, filled with fire. This time, she vows, seeing his image in her mind, I must bring you back. She knows she can't just barge in. The ghost would spot her immediately. What should she do? Her eyes fall to the feather in her hand. Since I can enter dreams with this feather, she thinks, maybe I can try to find Li Chen with this feather. She closes her eyes, pouring all of her hope into the small object. Li Chen, help me, she whispers. Let me find you. The feather glows, lifting from her fingers and floating into the darkness. She watches, breathless, as it flies forward. It strikes an invisible barrier, and a crack of light appears, splitting the void wide open. Without a second's hesitation, she reaches for the light, and passes through the tear in reality. A joyous smile spreads across her face. Li Chen, she cries out. She falls directly into his arms, clinging to him. I finally found you. He holds her tight, surrounded by a massive glowing blue seal. Why are you here? He asks, his voice trembling with emotion. His eyes are filled with a desperate concern that makes her heart ache. She notices his hand is bleeding, the seal around it cracked and broken. You're injured, she whispers. He just caresses her face gently and calls her silly before pulling her into a fierce protective hug. He pulls back slightly, his hands framing her face. Li Chen, you know I thought of many ways to wake you up, she says. Finally, I found that I could actually enter the dream. I was so happy. They stand together in the ethereal space. She playfully smacks his chest. But you, the bastard, threw me out. He just smiles, his eyes soft. Gina, I'm really happy to meet you, and I am glad to hear you worry about me too. And with that, he leans in and captures her lips in a tender kiss. Suddenly, a winged angelic figure appears above them. This is, our girl asks startled. Li Chen explains it's a soul that guards the seal, and it's here to check for intruders. Then won't I be found out again? She panics. He gives her a sly look. No, you have my feather in your hand. And, we kissed, so the scent is hard for the seal to identify. Oh, he is smum. Our girl blushes furiously. As the guardian flies past, none the wiser, she looks up at him, her heart full. Li Chen, I always said that I was not in the same world as you, but I understand now. He meets her gaze, his expression impossibly gentle. You are the most important person to me, he says, his voice unwavering. So let's face anything together. She reaches for him, her eyes shining with tears. Okay, she agrees. But he sighs, the reality of their situation crashing back down. Listen, it's not that easy to break a spirit-locked formation. My powers are mostly sealed and I can't find the eyes of the formation. All he can do is send her back. It's just too dangerous. No, she cries, clinging to him. I want to be with you. He hesitates, a single bead of sweat rolling down his temple. It may be difficult. Are you afraid? He asks, caressing her cheek. She looks him dead in the eye, her voice firm. As long as you are by my side, I am not afraid of anything. She throws her arms around him, holding on for dear life. We need to enter a seal to break the formation, he explains, as the magical circle around them glows brighter. What's under the seal? She asks. His expression darkens. You once fell into it, my nightmare. The horrifying memory flashes before her eyes. He continues, there may be another conspiracy, your mother may have been framed. She gasps in shock. Squeak! The angelic guardian suddenly screeches and dives straight for them. It flaps its wings with terrifying force, and our girl screams. Jiaina! Li Chen yells, trying to shield her, but it's too late. A powerful force grabs hold of them, pulling them down into the seal. They're both sucked into the blinding light, falling into the nightmare below as the seal closes above them. Here we go again. Our girl's eyes flutter open, realizing she's been pulled back into the nightmare, into the body of Li Chen's mother. She finds herself in a desolate place, where a young Li Chen is lying passed out on a bed of hay. From the void, our heroine gasps his name, a helpless spectator to his pain. Inside the memory, his mother's voice cracks as she cries out for him. Her heart shatters as she scoops her poor child into her arms. Li Chen's eyes slowly open, weak and confused. He looks up at her, a dazed look on his face as he whispers, "Mother." She looks down at him, her face a mask of suffering, a terrible resolve in her eyes. "Li Chen, wait for a while," she says, leaving him and our heroine completely baffled by her plan. Then, in a shocking move, she bites her own finger, drawing blood. With a swipe of her hand, she uses it to draw a glowing, intricate magic circle in the air. The blood spits out from her lips, condensing into a single, radiant bead of power. She reaches out and grabs the newly forged artifact. Looking suddenly aged and frail, she presses the bead into his hand. "This is the biggest secret of the Wu Qi clan," she says, her voice weak. Li Chen is horrified, asking what's happening to her as she coughs up blood. "Guard, take him away," she commands, pushing him away for his own safety. He screams, not wanting to leave her, but the guard is already dragging him away. She gives him one last heartbreaking smile, telling him to live on. Sen. The little boy is ripped away from his mother, his cries echoing in the night. In the present, the memory flashes through the adult Li Chen, and he realizes with a pang, it wasn't that his mother didn't love him. Back in the memory, the guard carries the struggling boy away from the chaos. But their escape is cut short as arrows rain down from the darkness. The guard is struck, his grip loosens, and little Li Chen plummets into the abyss. Just as he falls, a mysterious winged figure swoops down from the sky, catching him in a firm embrace and flying off into the night. The memory ends. Li Chen snaps back to reality, clutching his head in agony. Our girl rushes to his side, her voice laced with worry. "Li Chen, are you okay?" He looks up at her, his face pale and drawn. "I'm not good," he admits, the nightmare having taken its toll. He finally connects the dots. "So my powers are imprisoned by my nightmares." Our girl asks him what he saw in the vision. She feels something is off. Looks down, a dark realization dawning on him. "It's not as simple as just being hunted," he murmurs. Suddenly, the world beneath them gives way. "Oh no," he shouts. "I'm going to slip into a nightmare again." Our girl screams as she's dragged down with him into the swirling vortex of another memory. Wondering where she's going this time, she blinks, finding herself on a small raft, now inhabiting the body of another woman. A jolt of recognition hits her. This is it, the fated first meeting between the princess Yi Yue and Li Chen. A moment later, a young Li Chen crashes onto the raft, startling the princess. Before anyone can react, an arrow slices through the air and embeds itself deep in Yue's chest. She collapses into the water. And back in the void, our girl cries out, feeling the phantom pain sear through her. Underwater, Li Chen presses his lips to Yue's, passing the glowing bead his mother made from his mouth to hers. Our girl's eyes go wide. It's the bead, the very same one. The life-saving kiss goes on for. When they finally surface, she realizes the bead is what allowed them to survive underwater. On the shore, Li Chen tells Yue to hide while he leads the enemy away. She quickly ducks into the bushes. The pursuers arrive, but see that Li Chen is gone. Then, Yue overhears their true motive. "We must catch Li Chen. I want to get the bead on him." The truth hits our girl like a ton of bricks. Li Chen wasn't being hunted by his clan, they were after the bead. She peeks through Yue's eyes, desperate to see who is behind this. Peered through the leaves, she sees the face of the leader and her blood runs cold. It's Wei Lian, back in the void between memories, she's reeling. Well, she had misunderstood everything. Rushing back to Li Chen, she grabs his hand. "Li Chen, I have new discoveries. You're being hunted not because of your bloodline," she declares, but because of that bead. He looks at her, the pieces falling into place for both of them, and nods. "I knew it," she exclaims. "Someone was behind this all along." She asks if he knows what the bead is. He tells her the secret of the Wu Qi clan's immortality is sealed within it. He looks pensive. "Does that mean some of your clan members aren't immortal?" she asks. He confirms it. Just as she braces for another memory jump, Li Chen calls her name, Gina, and then he leans in and kisses her. She pulls back, stunned. "I kissed Yue, but that was in the past," he says softly, his eyes full of sincerity. "Now the person I value most is you." Overwhelmed, all she can manage is a soft "you," but the visions aren't done. Yue is running through a forest, breathless, when she sees Li Chen. Her face is a mixture of love and pain. "I can't hate you," she whispers, heartbroken. Our girl is jolted back to the present, confused. The memory continues. Yue apologizes for leaving, just as an arrow is aimed at her back. A chilling voice says, "So you're Yue? I've had a hard time finding you." It's Wei Lian. He grabs her by the throat, demanding the bead. Suddenly, a massive winged creature descends from the sky, letting out an ear-piercing shriek. The sonic blast incapacitates Wei Lian and his men. As he drops Yue, another winged person catches her, lifting her to safety. Our girl watches in shock, realizing, his person, Li Chen, had people protecting Yue all along. Our girl, bless her heart, is still reeling from the vision. Hesitantly, she asks, "Is this?" And Lam confirms her suspicion. "Yes, it's the king of the Feather clan. His eyes are filled with a sorrow she's never seen before. He then drops a bombshell. He is my biological father. Gina's mind races. So that's why the king's spirit saved Yue from the cliff. But something isn't adding up. She recalls the history she knows. The king of the Feather Clan swore to live and die with his people 1220 years ago. He should be dead. And Lan explains that the seal she used inspired the deepest secret in Li Chen's heart. So the guardian spirit that appeared was the father he's been trying to forget. Gina can't stand seeing him like this. She gently cups his face, her voice soft but firm. You are not a monster rejected by your clan, she says. And your parents, they really love you. You are not alone. Her words hit him like a tidal wave of warmth. He clutches a single white feather that appeared from the vision. With a small grateful smile, he looks at her. Thank you, Gina. And then he pulls her into a tight, desperate hug. He tells her it's what she sees for herself that matters. He holds her close, his eyes shut as if gathering every ounce of courage he has. Gina, he whispers, I never found the right moment, but I think I should tell you now. He pulls back just enough to look her in the eyes, his own shimmering with unshed tears. Gina, I love you. Before she can even process the 3 words she's been dying to hear, the magic circle on the ground flares to life again. A blinding light erupts from it, engulfing them both. Li Chen, she whispers, watching in awe as he's lifted into the air. The light recedes, and he stands before her, magnificent, powerful, with a full set of brilliant white wings. Our girl is absolutely floored, covering her mouth in shock. He floats down to her, a handsome, ethereal prince. Did you hear it? He asks softly. He's worried. This is your dream. What if you wake up and forget it? Gina is still in a daze. How could she possibly forget this? I don't believe it, she stammers, her heart hammering in her chest. He smiles. A truly breathtaking sight. Then I shall say it again when I'm awake, he promises. Leaning in, he presses his forehead to hers. Then you must remember. He raises a finger, creating a portal of light. Jaina, look at this place, he says. The vision shows a beautiful sunlit clearing, with a massive tree. The place feels so familiar to her. Remember that place, he tells her, taking her hand. A gentle, knowing smile plays on his lips. I shall wait for you there. Gina jolts awake with a scream. Li Chen, she frantically throws open the door to his hospital room. And Lan is sitting by the bed, but her eyes are only for the boy sleeping peacefully. I want to see Li Chen's condition, she pants, rushing to his side. She gently touches his hand, a wave of relief washing over her. I'm glad you're okay. That's when she notices President Gan sighing wearily. And his arm is bandaged. President Gu, are you injured? She asks, concerned. He tries to play it cool, calling it a small wound, but Xiaoli isn't having it. What small injury? To save Li Chen, President Gu almost couldn't come back. Gina is horrified. That's too dangerous. Gua just smiles softly. If I were lying in a hospital bed, I'm sure you would do the same, wouldn't you? He's right, of course. Then it's okay, isn't it? Our girl is deeply moved. She reaches for his hand. From now on, President Gia is our best friend from life to death, as she takes his bandaged hand in hers. Not wanting to leave anyone out, she grabs Dao Li too, declaring him a friend of life and death as well. By the way, she says, her tone turning serious, there is one more thing I need to ask President Gu for help with today. She pulls out a picture of the tree from her dream. Li Chen told me in my dream about the location of the sealed place, she explains, asking him to help her find it. They drive off, searching for answers. Inside the car, Gu looks at the picture on her phone. His eyes widen in recognition. Wait, this is the lake in my hometown. Gina is stunned. So? That's the very same lake where she found Li Chen at the bottom. The pieces start clicking into place. Li Chen is sealed at the bottom of the lake and there's a lock spirit formation hidden in the mountains nearby. Could there be a connection? Gu praises her cleverness, admitting he thought the same thing. But he's worried. It's just that the time when you go find the sealing place, the fate is uncertain. He suggests it would be better for her, a girl, to stay by Li Chen's side. But our heroine is resolute. President Gu, I must go. I want to be his eyes. I'll help him figure out why before he wakes. President Gu looks at her with a mix of admiration and something else. He smiles, but it doesn't quite reach his eyes. Rest assured, I won't get in trouble, she promises, trying to lighten the mood. As he looks at her determined face, he can't help but feel a pang of jealousy. I am a little envious of Li Chen, he admits to himself. As they drive, the car is quiet for a moment. Manjina then spots the book Go is reading. It's a romance novel. It turns out that the decent President Ga likes to read such books in private, she teases. He just deadpans. Is there anything wrong with this? She quickly backtracks, then launches into an explanation of her dream. She reveals a shocking truth she's uncovered. The one who caused the war between the clans wasn't the Feather Clan. It was a man she saw in her dream. It's Wei Lian, she declares. Gu is taken aback. Wei Lian, do you have evidence? Li Chen said that Wei Lian's smell was not quite right, she explains. Croc's expression turns grim. Actually, he begins, when Li Chen disappeared, I discovered something even more wrong. He flashes back to a few days ago, sitting in his office, stressed about not being able to find Li Chen. Xiao Li rushes in with a report. Take a look, he says, pointing to a video. The video shows a white-haired figure single-handedly taking down a group of thugs. It's Li Chen. Gu immediately decided to check it out himself, rushing out of his office. When he arrived at the scene, he found a bloodbath and giant terrifying bird monsters, feasting on the aftermath. Could the unconscious Li Chen have woken up? Suddenly, a sharp squawk pierces the air. He follows the sound, spotting the figure he's looking for, gives chase without a second thought, running across rooftops. He watches as the figure flies away on one of the beasts, heading towards a specific building in the distance. Tangsing Tower? Gu thinks, isn't this the building that Jina was talking about? He arrives at the building, finding the exact room Jina mentioned. He cautiously peeks through the door. What he sees makes his blood run cold. Inside is a massive glowing water tank, and suspended within it, covered in wires and hooked to a breathing apparatus. A horrified whisper escapes Ga's lips. Li Chen. Alright, let's dive in. We open on a shocking flashback. Li Chen, floating lifelessly in a high-tech healing pod. President Gu strides purposefully towards the chamber, his face a mask of cold determination. Suddenly, an arrow zips through the air. A bird screeches as it's struck down mid-flight, whirls around just in time to see a mysterious figure in white escaping through a door. His eyes fall to a device on the floor, and a horrifying thought crashes down on him. Could it be Li Chen was framed? Back in the present, Ge is driving with our girl, Jina. He tells her he finally believes her. Someone is definitely setting Li Chen up. She's lost in thought, worrying about Li Chen's condition. Seeing her concern, Go pulls out his phone, offering her a look at Li Chen sleeping soundly. He explains that he's moved him to a super secure location with 18/7 cameras, which Jina finds just a tad bit creepy. She quickly plays it off, gushing about how handsome President Go is. Their car grinds to a halt. The driver informs them that the road to Qiming Mountain is blocked by angry villagers after a robbery. A man holding a large stick stands guard, declaring that no one gets in or out until the thief is caught. But our girl recognizes him. She hops out of the car, calling out, "Uncle Zheng, it's me, Jina." The uncle is happy to see her but remains firm. "Not even for you," he scolds, calling her disobedient. Defeated, she pouts and agrees to turn back. She slides back into the car with a heavy sigh. Just as they're about to give up, Uncle Zheng suggests a detour to Jinghu Lake, a place of legends and treasures. With renewed hope, they thank him and speed away. Jina explains her master plan. There's a secret underwater passage in the lake that leads directly to the mountain. She stands at the water's edge, doing a few quick warm-ups. With a look of pure resolve, she prepares to dive. Flash. She hits the water, her strategy flashing in her mind. She'll swim through the lake and create a distraction on the other side. This will give President Go the opening he needs to slip onto the mountain unnoticed. As she swims deeper into the murky abyss, a pair of glowing yellow eyes suddenly flares to life in the darkness ahead. Meanwhile, the villagers are still on high alert. President Go waits anxiously by the tray line. Suddenly, Jina's scream pierces the air, yelling about a robber. The villagers are immediately riled up, vowing to catch the bastard this time. As they charge off into the woods, Hua seizes his chance and slips past the now unguarded barricade. He finds her hiding in a bush, needing a hand to get out. He pulls her up, and she immediately starts complaining about her long swim, but he just smiles and thanks her for her help. But the tender moment is shattered when she gasps his name in terror. She tackles him, shoving him to the ground with all her might. A massive, scaly green monster lunges, its claws swiping through the very spot where his head had been moments before. Enraged, President Guan launches a savage counterattack, striking the creature down. He rushes to Jina's side, asking if she's alright. She winces, revealing a nasty gash on her arm but insists it's just a scratch. He's stunned, realizing this is the first time a girl has ever protected him. A single drop of her blood falls to the earth, and to their astonishment, it begins to glow with an ethereal light. Wisps of energy rise from the ground, converging on a nearby tree, and forming a massive glowing seal. It's the seal, she cries out in amazement, approaches the tree, placing his hand on the bark and chanting a mantra. As Jina begins to float, the seal erupts in a blinding flash, shooting a brilliant pillar of light straight into the sky. When the light fades, Gu smirks. The seal has been broken. But as one seal breaks, a darker scene unfolds elsewhere. The guard, Xiao Li, is brutally murdered, choked to death. The killer steps away from the body. It's Li Chen, his eyes cold and lifeless. A sinister, chilling smile spreads across his face as he awakens to his dark power. Oblivious to the horror, our heroes are in high spirits. Jina is excited to see Li Chen, teasing that he owes her a secret word from a dream. It's a secret, but their laughter dies in their throats. They stop dead in their tracks at the sight of blood pooling on the floor. Their eyes meet in shared terror. They burst into the room screaming Li Chen's name, only to find the bloody corpse of Xiao Li on the ground. Jina stares in utter disbelief. President Gu rushes to the body, checking for a pulse, but it's too late. His voice is grim as he confirms, he's dead. The brutal wound is on full display. Gu snaps, his voice raw with fury. Where's Li Chen? Jina calls his name, her voice trembling with fear, her mind reeling. She whips around, and finds him sitting on the floor in a daze. She rushes to his side, asking if he's hurt, but Ga is past the point of concern. He grabs Li Chen by the collar, demanding an explanation. Li Chen just stares back, confused. I don't know, he stammers. He desperately insists he has no idea what happened, claiming the guard was already dead when he woke up. He clutches his head, crying that he wanted to save him. Jina tries to de-escalate, but Gu is having none of it. A misunderstanding, he sneers. Look at the CCTV. Her heart plummets as she watches the footage. It's a nightmare. The video clearly shows Li Chen strangling Xiao Li, his eyes glowing with a demonic light as he slices the guard's throat with a playing card. Impossible, she cries, her hands trembling. Li Chen frantically denies it, swearing he doesn't even own a card like that. But Cobb's faces a storm of betrayal and rage. Suddenly, he yells, "Be careful," and shoves her aside. An arrow flies past them. Gu activates his watch, snarling that Li Chen will pay for this. But a shadowy hand with black claws snatches the arrow right out of the air. It's Li Chen. His eyes are now glowing a terrifying demonic red as he effortlessly snaps the arrow in two. The situation is spiraling out of control. Our poor angel Li Chen is on the ground, but he's not down for the count. He suddenly draws an arrow, aiming it with deadly intent. Suddenly, we're outside the hospital as a body thuds to the ground. It's Li Chen. With his eyes glowing a terrifying gold, he glares up at Gina. She asks in terror, "Are you now trying to kill me too?" Before she can react, he's thrown back as massive wings erupt from his back. Gina screams his name, trying to stop him, but it's too late. But wait, a blinding light suddenly bursts from her necklace, repelling the berserk angel. The light fades, leaving a stunned Li Chen on the ground. Gina and President Go can only stare in confusion as she clutches the mysterious necklace. It turns out this was Li Chen's backup plan all along. In a flashback, he remembers wanting to steal a kiss but worrying about the curse. He enchanted the necklace, hoping it would protect her if he ever lost his mind. And it seems his worst fears have come true. Gina realizes Li Chen must have lost his mind because of the curse. But did he really kill Xiaoli? Before she can process it, Li Chen snaps, turning on President Ku and strangling him. He slams the man to the ground, fangs bared. Our girl doesn't hesitate. She pounces on Li Chen's back, screaming for him to stop. "Don't do something you'll regret," she cries. Her voice seems to cut through the haze of his rage, and he freezes. His clawed hand lets go of Go's throat. He hears her familiar voice, but when he turns to her, his eyes are blank. "Who's this?" he asks, his monstrous hand hovering dangerously close to her neck. Just then, an arrow flies out of nowhere, embedding itself deep in his chest. President Ga catches Gina as she's thrown back. "Are you all right?" he asks, but she only has eyes for her wounded angel. Li Chen pulls himself up, bleeding and furious, his eyes burning with vengeance. Holds Gina back, screaming that it's too dangerous, as Li Chen looks absolutely unstoppable. He lunges, and our girl screams for him to stop, her voice filled with pure terror. Her plea reaches him. He freezes mid-attack, his expression a mask of agony. He clutches his head, roaring in pain, as the windows behind him shatter from the force of his anguish. In a flash, he crashes through the broken glass and escapes into the night sky. President Go mutters about the Feather Clan, but Gina knows it's not that simple. She looks on with a determined expression. Li snaps at her. "Didn't you see he wanted to kill us?" Our girl isn't convinced. She asks to see the surveillance footage one more time. The video shows Xiaoli's body, followed by a smug-looking Li Chen, destroying the camera with playing cards. Something isn't right. Gina points out if he really lost his mind, why would he destroy the evidence? Before Gu can respond, his assistant rushes in with breaking news. He shoves a phone in their faces, showing a live webcast of Li Chen attacking someone on Pedestrian Street. The footage is undeniable. The assistant smirks, thinking he's won, but Gina refuses to accept it. "Impossible," she whispers. "I don't believe it," she screams, before running out of the room, her heart shattering. She stands alone outside, completely devastated. We see a flashback of Li Chen deciding not to tell her about the seal's backlash, not wanting to worry his precious girl. In the present, Gina cries, blaming herself. "Did I?" From the shadows, Li Chen watches her, his heart aching. He longs to comfort her, but wonders if he even can anymore. Later, Gina storms into Gyo's office. He tells her the scandal is so bad he had to block her live stream. He challenges her, "What would you do? Go live again?" She stares back, her resolve like steel. We learn that an hour ago, she was mobbed by reporters on her way to see him. They swarmed her, demanding answers. But just as they cornered her, a mysterious tornado swept them off their feet, sending them spinning, and conveniently dumping them in the trash. A single white feather floated into Gina's hand. She knew then. Li Chen was watching over her. Back in the present, she tells Gu that Li Chen is the one in real trouble. But Gu scoffs, perhaps he's just enjoying the murder? Gina is stunned by his cruelty, but quickly composes herself. "I'm not here to argue," she declares. "I'm going to stand by him and expose the truth." "Can't believe it." "Why?" "He almost hurt you." Our heroine stands tall, her faith unwavering. "Because I awakened him. He is not a monster." She points a finger right in his face. "The real monster is the doubt in your heart." Meanwhile, hiding in the trees, Li Chen clutches his chest in agony. The curse is taking over. His foot transforms into a grotesque claw. The corruption spreads across his body as he realizes with horror, "I'm becoming more and more like a monster." Here we go. Buckle up, buttercups, because this recap is about to be a wild ride. Our poor winged boy is spiraling, convinced he's losing himself. "I'm becoming more and more like a monster," he thinks, clutching his chest in agony. But then a voice cuts through the darkness, a beacon of hope. It's our girl Gina. Her voice rings out, fierce and clear. "I know better than you what kind of person he is," she declares to the world. "He is not a monster." His eyes widen, hearing her words echo in his mind. Her faith gives him strength, and he roars back at the curse. "That's right. I'm not a monster, I'm a human." But the effort takes its toll. The power recedes, and he coughs up blood. Weakened, he steadies himself, realizing the seal backfired but at least managed to restrain the curse for a little while. From his hiding spot, he watches Gina walk away, his heart aching. Meanwhile, back in the human world, Gina is getting an earful from the ever-smug CEO, Wei Lian. He tells her the only monster she should be afraid of is the one in her heart called doubt. He smirks, completely unbothered, and decides to restore her live stream room, curious to see how far she can push herself. Night falls across the city. Our heroine sits at her laptop, her heart pounding with nerves as she clicks Start Live. She puts on a brave face, greeting her fans with a cheerful wave, but the response is immediate and brutal. The chat floods with a tidal wave of pure hatred. "Go to hell, get out." Her smile falters. This is way harder than she expected. But this girl is a fighter. She balls her fists and declares she won't be defeated so easily, trying to carry on with the broadcast. The hate just keeps pouring in, a relentless assault on her phone screen. screen. Watching from his high-rise office, Wei Lian raises an eyebrow. So this is your courage, he muses. Then with a few clicks, the screen explodes with notifications. Gina's fans are rewarding her with carnivals. She's baffled. Digital rockets and luxury cars flood the screen. All from one person. Wei Lian. Her eyes go wide. It's him. Her mind instantly flashes to the mysterious, handsome man from her dreams. She puts her hand to her chin, wondering, could Wei Lian and that man be the same person? Wei Lian, watching her reaction on his screen, sips his coffee with a cunning smile. It seems that she discovered something, he thinks. Let's verify it. Right on cue, her phone starts ringing, and wouldn't you know it, the caller ID says Wei Lian. She stares at the screen, totally panicking. What should I do? Should I answer? Back in the CEO's office, we see a new face, a handsome silver-haired man lounging casually by the desk. Jaina finally answers, and Wei Lian smoothly asks if she's free these next few days. He wants to invite her to the TG team as a special guest. The silver-haired man looks completely thrown by this sudden offer. Jaina is so flabbergasted she literally drops her phone. She fumbles to pick it back up, her face bright red. But then the silver-haired man snatches the phone from Wei Lian. A new voice comes through the line. Is that Flames? She recognizes that voice. He formally invites her to the base for a live broadcast. Her mind flashes back to a dreamlike memory of him carrying her through the sky. He promises, what are you afraid of? I will take you to fly. She agrees, and he hangs up before immediately turning on Wei Lian. Boss, what crazy idea are you playing? Wei Lian's expression turns serious. Time is limited, he says cryptically. Flames sighs, complaining that his stamina is getting worse. Wei Lian just gives him a cold, calculating look. The next day, our girl is in her room, trying to decide what to wear for this big event. Her eyes land on a small black box on her desk. I remember, this is the device Wei Lian gave me. She picks it up and presses a button. Next thing we know, she's in a car with Wei Lian, and she is not feeling trusting. She's looking all over the car, and when he asks what she's doing, she says, I'm looking to see if there's a camera in your car. She tells him she suspects the computer accessories he gave her were actually a spy camera. Wei Lian remains silent, but his phone rings. The man on the other end reports that someone broke into Gina's apartment, but the computer camera he planted was already gone. Gina is stunned into silence. Wei Lian asks if she still wants to go to the base. She sets her jaw, her eyes filled with a new fire. I just want to see what they're up to. Suddenly, their car is being swarmed by winged creatures. One of them slams hard against the window with a loud thump. The creatures dive into the trees below, and Gina whips around, startled. What happened? Just then, something is tossed into the car, landing with a clatter. It's the device Wei Lian gave her. He picks it up and crushes it in his hand, revealing the tiny CCTV camera hidden inside. Her mind races. The feather beasts, the recovered camera. Li Chen, she thinks. It must be Li Chen who is helping me. Without a second thought, she screams, please stop the car. The car screeches to a halt, and she bolts out the door, running down the street as fast as she can. She ducks into an alley, panting for breath. Li Chen, come out, she calls, but there's no one there. There's no response. Her face falls with disappointment. She pulls a pineapple bun from her bag and places it gently on a ledge. I bought a pineapple bun and I won't look at you, she says to the empty alley. I go first. With a final wave, she turns to leave. The second she's gone, Li Chen floats down from above, his gorgeous wings unfurling as he lands silently. He picks up the bun she left for him, a tender smile gracing his lips as he whispers her name. HHA, so it's really you. Gina suddenly reappears, catching him red-handed. He's so startled he tries to hide his entire body with his wings. Didn't you say you wouldn't look? He yelps, totally mortified. Li Chen, she says softly, but he flinches away. Don't come near, he begs, his voice filled with pain. Such a me is not qualified to hug you. But our girl is having none of his self-pity party. What the hell are you talking about? She snaps, marching right up to him and bopping him on the head. He shrinks back, clutching his blackened clawed hand. Can't you see my change? I am now a feather beast and not a human at all. She shoves his hand away. You are human, and it's a curse, you have to fight it. His face crumples with guilt. However, Xiaoli's death. She grabs him, forcing him to look at her. Her eyes are blazing with absolute certainty as she declares, it's not you, definitely. It wasn't you who killed Xiaoli. Our boy Li Chen is absolutely floored. He doesn't even remember what happened. So he asks, why are you so sure? But our girl looks up at him with unwavering eyes. She just whispers, I just know it. Just as the moment gets tender, a voice shouts her name, Ji Na. Li Chen's eyes dart to the side. He knows they've been found. Someone's here, he says, before spreading his magnificent wings and taking off into the sky. Our poor heroine is left standing alone, watching him go. She sighs, realizing she won't be getting her answer today. Suddenly, Gu Ye appears, looking all concerned. He grabs her arm, asking, I just saw Li Chen coming in this direction. Did he hurt you? But Gina just stares blankly ahead. She pulls away slightly, saying, I'm fine, let's go. She turns to leave, but he's not letting go that easily. He grabs her again, his voice turning serious. Gina, don't risk contacting Li Chen. I can't lose another friend. She just looks away, knowing he'd never believe the truth anyway. Let's go to the base first, she says, defeated. From a nearby rooftop, Li Chen watches them leave. Her words echo in his mind, you didn't kill Xiaoli, definitely. A flicker of hope crosses his face. He whispers, thank you, as the darkness covering his hand begins to fade away. Later, they arrive at the TG team's base, and this place is luxurious. Gina is totally blown away by the fancy fountain. She can't hide her excitement, and Guye just smirks, calling her a show-off. A man in a suit greets them with a massive bouquet of roses. After a quick thanks, he leads them on a tour. They enter the training ground, a huge room filled with gamers clacking away at their keyboards. Gina is practically vibrating with excitement. Her eyes land on one player in particular, a silver-haired boy in a hoodie, completely absorbed in his game. This is Flames, the team's ace. The manager leans in with a proposition. Our TG team will have a live broadcast later, he says with a smile, and we would like to invite you to join. Gina points to herself, completely stunned. Me? The manager beams. Yes, you partner with Flames and play games together. But Flames is not having it. He glares over, snapping, I don't want to be paired with a rookie. Before he can say another word, Gaye shoots him an icy glare. Do you have an opinion? He asks, his voice dripping with threat. Flames immediately goes silent. The pro gamer quickly changes his tune. Alright, no problem, he says with a forced smile. Gina is completely bewildered, wondering what Guye is planning. He just gives her a cool look and says, let's see how it goes. The broadcast begins. Gina nervously introduces herself, announcing that she'll be playing with the popular king, Flames. He just gives a cool, and she immediately panics, thinking she's already offended him. Let's start, she says, trying to get things moving. The two of them sit side by side, ready to play. In the heat of battle, her old habits kick in. She yells, Ali Chen, I'll cover you. Flames freezes. Did you say something wrong? He asks, his voice dangerously low. She immediately backpedals, apologizing profusely for calling him by her old partner's name. But then, she does it again. Li Chen, I will cover you, she shouts, completely focused on the screen. This time, she realizes her mistake instantly. Flames is practically steaming. He reaches over and gives her cheek a sharp pinch. He leans in close, a savage smirk on his face. If you call me the wrong name again, he whispers, I will kill you 100 times in the game. Our girl is completely flustered, but nods quickly. He warns her, you better remember. She stares at him, stunned into silence. Meanwhile, a thought crosses his mind. Her voice sounds strangely familiar. He makes a mental note to ask Guye about it later. With the threat hanging in the air, Gina regains her focus. Half an hour later, they clutch the victory. As the broadcast ends, she waves goodbye to the camera. She gets up to leave, and Flames just watches her go, a curious expression on his face. He immediately calls the manager over. Come here, he says, giving a quiet order. Go tell that woman that the person she's looking for is in that room. The manager simply replies, yes, and scurries off. Gina wanders down a hallway, looking for the office. She finally spots the door. She pushes it open. Huh? Am I in the wrong place? She wonders aloud. Before she can react, the door slams shut behind her. The lights go out, plunging her into total darkness. Why is it suddenly dark? She panics, rattling the doorknob. It's locked tight. A chill runs down her spine. Something is very, very wrong. Suddenly, glowing tendrils of light shoot through the darkness. Ah, she screams as the ropes wrap around her body, binding her tightly. She struggles, but it's no use. She feels her strength rapidly draining away. A shadowy, hooded figure emerges from the darkness, holding the ends of the magical ropes. She fights against the bonds, her breath coming in ragged gasps. Who's that? Endless she chokes out. Suddenly, a horrifying memory flashes through her mind. A past life, the same glowing ropes, a man's face twisted in anger as he vowed she would never take his soul. Back in the present, the feeling is sickeningly familiar. The hooded figure gloats. Soon I'm going to get the thing that I want. Oh! She realizes with pure terror, someone is extracting my soul. The villain laughs, it's a waste of time. Your life was stolen from me in the first place. Now it's time to give it back to me. Just as she's about to lose consciousness, a single dark feather floats into the room. It slices through the air like a blade, heading straight for the attacker. The figure dodges just in time, but the feather isn't done. It swoops around and severs the glowing ropes, freeing Gina. The villain roars in frustration. What is this? Don't spoil my good thing. As the ropes dissolve, the feather drops a tiny red orb. Gina collapses to the floor, but manages to catch the orb. Without thinking, she swallows it. Instantly, she feels her strength surge back into her body. She turns to face her attacker, her eyes burning with newfound fire. You're Wei Lian, right? She accuses. As the magic feathers continue to harass the hooded figure, fueled by rage, she lunges forward and grabs his cloak. Show your real self, she screams, pulling with all her might. The door bursts open, and Flames rushes in, only to find the room completely empty. The attacker and Gina are gone. All that remains is a single feather, floating gently to the ground. Meanwhile, in an office elsewhere, two men celebrate a new deal. It's Guye, and he's just agreed to more collaboration between Flames and Gina, calling it a win-win situation. They raise their glasses for a toast, but the toast is cut short as the feather smashes through the window. It flies directly at Guye, who barely dodges it. He stares in shock. Isn't this the protective seal of the feather? A cut appears on his cheek, and his friendly demeanor shatters. Damn woman, he snarls, his face a mask of fury. I'm going to kill her with my own hands now. His associate rushes to his side, asking if he's all right. Guyu waves him off, pretending to be fine. It's okay, I'll go to the infirmary. But as his partner offers to help, Guyu's expression turns demonic. He snaps, grabbing the man by the throat and lifting him off his feet. He slams the poor guy onto the floor, spitting the word rubbish with pure contempt. He pulls out his phone, his voice cold as ice. I'll take care of her myself, he says into the receiver. Miles away, Li Chen is resting when a ring on his finger suddenly begins to glow brightly. He looks down at his hand, his eyes widening in alarm. He knows exactly what this means. Oops, he thinks. Something happened to Gina. Our poor girl frantically jiggles the doorknob, but it's locked solid. She screams for help, but no one answers. Panic sets in as she realizes she can't even get a signal on her phone. She's trapped until tomorrow. Defeated, she slumps to the floor, a picture of pure misery. But then, a sound. The door creaks open, revealing a dark silhouette. Hope surges through her. It's him, she thinks, a massive smile spreading across her face. Without a second thought, she launches herself into his arms, crying out, "You've come to my rescue." Her hero just smirks. "Oh, you knew I was coming to save you?" She looks up, and her blood runs cold. It's not Li Chen, it's Flames. She springs back like she's been burned, demanding to know what he's doing here. He plays it cool, saying he got worried when she disappeared and came to look for her. Our girl is not buying it for a second. Flames casually explains that President Gi wants to see her and asks her to follow him. Her mind races. The earring, his sudden appearance, could he be the real murderer? She cautiously agrees to follow him. Meanwhile, our actual hero Li Chen has run into a bit of a snag. A massive, sparking electric fence blocks his path. He realizes this is no ordinary place. The electricity is so strong it reaches the sky. There's no way he can just fly over this one. Suddenly, a truck rumbles to a stop, the gate opening for it. A man yells for it to stop. Li Chen spots his chance. As the drivers decide to go for a drink, he makes his move. He checks to make sure no one's looking, and dives under the truck, emerging on the other side. He has to find the power source, and fast. He quickly locates a door with a high-voltage symbol. But inside, he finds a shocking sight. A cloaked figure is trapped behind electrified bars, desperately trying to escape. Li Chen freezes. It's the Archer, the same guy who shot him in the street. The Archer makes a desperate move for the bars, determined to get out. Danger. Li Chen screams, but it's too late. The man is hit with a massive jolt of electricity, screaming in agony. He collapses to the ground, twitching, and rushes to the Archer's side. But the Archer grabs him, eyes blazing with fury. "Flames! Give me back my essence soul," he roars. Li Chen is completely baffled. Flames? He thinks. Isn't that the name of Gina's favorite esports player? Back with our girl. She's being led down a suspicious-looking hallway. As they walk, Flames towers over her ominously. Suddenly, a small golden ring clatters to the floor. It's an essence soul. The Archer, who has somehow appeared, lunges for it. He snatches the soul and swallows it whole. His eyes lock onto Flames, filled with pure hatred. "Flames, you steal my soul," he snarls. "I want you to die here today." But just as he's about to attack, the real Li Chen bursts through the door, wings blazing. "Gina, I'm here to save you," he calls out. Gina's face lights up as she sees her true savior. She rushes to him, worried. "Li Chen, I see the glow of the feathers. Are you hurt?" He reassures her, explaining it's just someone working with Flames to steal his essence soul. The three of them stand off against Flames. The villain just laughs. "You can't run away. All of you must die." He lifts a strange whistle to his lips. A piercing, harsh squeak rips through the air. Both Li Chen and Gina cry out, clutching their ears in pain. Li Chen knows that sound. It's the one that controls the feather beasts. And sure enough, a whole flock of the terrifying creatures materializes, their eyes glowing menacingly. Flames points, and the beasts descend upon them. All hell breaks loose. Our girl unleashes a chili powder attack, while the Archer hilariously fends off a bird with a ladder. Flames readies his bow. He lets an arrow fly, but the Archer shouts, "Be careful," and catches it, saving Li Chen. He turns to a stunned Li Chen. "Thanks, I was wrong about you before." But their truce is cut short. A bird swoops in, its claws tearing into Li Chen's back and wings. Blood splatters everywhere as Gina screams in horror. "We're outnumbered. We have to retreat," Li Chen yells, ordering the Archer to take Gina and go. Our girl refuses to leave him alone, but the Archer doesn't give her a choice. He scoops her up and whisks her away, shouting that women just get in the way. With the birds defeated, Li Chen turns his blood-soaked wings toward his opponent. "It's your turn," he says, his voice dangerously low. As they face off, Li Chen notices the similarities. The face, the weapon, but his eyes narrow with certainty. "Okay, let's see who survives today." The fake smirks. The one who survives is the real one. Their blades clash in a flurry of sparks. But the fight is comically one-sided. Li Chen effortlessly parries every blow. Sure enough, it's a fake, he taunts. He can't even hold the sword steadily. The fake tosses the useless sword aside. He pulls out a playing card, the ace of spades, and flicks it with a snap. "This is much smoother," he says with a chilling smile. From the doorway, Gina recognizes the card instantly. "Isn't this the poker card that killed Zhao Li?" she gasps. So he was the one who killed him. Li Chen's face contorts with rage. "It's you," he bellows. "You killed my friend." The imposter just laughs. "So what if it's me? It's you who are too stupid to step into the trap." We make flashback to Li Chen in a hospital bed, Gina watching over him. She gently touches his hand, just relieved he's okay. He opens his eyes and whispers, "Stupid." In another dark memory, the magician approaches Li Chen. Li Chen beckons him closer, a sly look in his eyes. The moment the magician is in range, Li Chen's hand shoots out, grabbing him by the throat and slamming him to the ground. The magician chokes, asking why. Li Chen holds up the ace of spades. "Whose friend with a fool like you?" he sneers. He slices the card through the magician's neck. As his friend lies dead, a glowing orb of energy emerges, which Li Chen absorbs. A feather beast delivers him the rest of the cards, and he flies off into the night, laughing like a madman. Back in the present, the real Li Chen is on his knees, screaming in agony. "Why did you kill him?" The fake, the true Flames, reveals his motive with a wicked grin. Of course it's for his essence soul. He gestures and ethereal tendrils erupt from the ground, wrapping around Li Chen, binding him completely. Flames reaches out, and with a horrifying pull, he rips Li Chen's glowing essence soul right out of his chest. Li Chen lets out a heart-wrenching scream of pure suffering as his very life force is stolen from him. Here we go again. Our boy Li Chen is in a serious bind, literally. Turns out it's a nasty spell to send him off to some magician, and a smug-looking clone is just standing there watching. The real Li Chen is in agony, his very soul being drained away. Our girl watches in horror, realizing what's happening. She remembers the feather that protected her. Maybe, just maybe, it can protect him too. With a desperate cry, she yeets the feather right at the imposter. It strikes true, and the clone cries out in pain. Our girl rushes to the real Li Chen's side, who's finally free from the magical binds. The clone, now bleeding from the face, sneers at Li Chen, calling him a half-blood monster. But before he can say another word, a new challenger enters the ring. An angelic-looking man with a glowing sword swoops in and slashes the clone. The clone poofs into a weird little creature and scurries away with a squeak. The angel, clearly annoyed, watches it go. Damn, he still escaped. He mutters that even with a scapegoat, Li Chen was just too fast. Suddenly, Li Chen yanks our girl to the ground. An arrow zips right through the air where her head just was, impaling the true villain, Wei Lian. It pins him to the wall as glowing white bands wrap around him, sealing his power. The angel, whose name is apparently Go Ye, confronts the captured snake. Wei Lian just smirks, but Li Chen snaps, accusing him of framing him for murder. Our girl backs him up, pointing an accusing finger. Wei Lian is the picture of smug evil. Do you have evidence? He scoffs. Our girl is trembling with rage, screaming that he's the real murderer. A big liar. Just then, a whole squad of mysterious cloaked figures appears. One of them points a finger right at Wei Lian, exposing him. He reveals Wei Lian steals people's essence for immortality, and was the one who murdered his own kind. The truth hits our girl like a ton of bricks. She wronged him. Li Chen just sighs, admitting he's been misunderstood for over 100 years. That's all she needs to hear. She launches herself at him, wrapping him in a fierce hug. I knew you weren't a vicious beast, she cries. They share a heart-meltingly tender look. She just knew, he wouldn't kill anyone. A soft smile graces his lips. He tells her it was her courage that helped him, and he notices her eyes are back to normal, but the sweet moment is shattered. Li Chen's eyes widen in alarm as a terrifying magical formation appears on the floor, trapping them all. Wei Lian, still tied up, starts laughing. He's going to turn them all into his personal energy drink. He performs a hand sign, and massive ghostly hands erupt from the glowing circle. Li Chen grabs our girl, pulling her out of harm's way, just as a hand swipes at them, shielding her with his own body. He holds her tight, realizing the formation is draining their strength. Our girl cries out in fear. The cloaked figures are also being grabbed by the spectral hands. Li Chen grits his teeth, admitting he's almost at his limit. But our little nugget isn't giving up. I seem to know a way, she says, a spark of determination in her eyes. Thinking fast, she pricks her finger on Li Chen's light sword, drawing a bit of blood. A single glowing drop falls to the floor. She kneels, telling Li Chen she'll explain later, and commands the circle to fade away. With her own blood, she draws a protective circle on the ground, yelling for everyone to get inside. Meanwhile, Wei Lian just casually pokes at the ghost hands and the arrow in his own shoulder, clearly enjoying the show. One of the archers makes it into the circle, thanking her. She tells him it's not over yet. They have to break the formation, or they're all dead. Seeing an opportunity, Li Chen meets his gaze and agrees without hesitation. The two rivals shake hands, a temporary truce to survive this nightmare. Yui explains the formation has a weak point, an array eye. The archers provide cover fire as they plan their attack. Our girl spots it first, a glowing triangle on one of the giant hands. Guoli and Li Chen give a determined nod. With a powerful shout, Li Chen charges. He and Gui Yai launch themselves at the hand. Gui Yai fires a perfect shot and Li Chen follows up with his glowing sword. With a final massive swoosh, he shatters the array eye. The formation cracks and breaks apart. They did it. But Wei Lian is already on his feet, blocking their exit. You can't run away today, he snarls. He dares them. If you can kill me, just try it. That's it. Li Chen snaps, lunging forward with his sword, aiming right for Wei Lian's throat. But Gu Ye grabs his arm, stopping the fatal blow. Li Chen is furious, but Gu Ye quickly explains that this Wei Lian is just a double created by a spell. The real Wei Lian is somewhere else, and this is all a trap. The villain cackles, holding up a phone. He threatens to post the footage online and frame Li Chen all over again. And with a final taunt, he triggers an explosion that rocks the entire building. The ground shakes violently. Guya asks for the time, and a look of dawning horror crosses his face. The people of the Wu Qi clan, deep underground. Dozens of coffins lay in wait, and inside one, a man's eyes snap open, glowing with ancient power. The earth trembles as the coffins rise from their graves. The real Wei Lian watches from a distance. The Wu Qi clan has awakened. A wicked smile spreads across his face. My plan still has a chance. He pulls the arrow from his shoulder, and lands before the newly risen clan. A regal man, their majesty, emerges. Wei Lian kneels, apologizing for being late. But the majesty only has one question. Where are the descendants of the Gu family? Wei Lian puts on a masterclass in manipulation, claiming the Gu family descendant. The majesty is stunned. Wei Lian spins a heart-wrenching story about how Li Chen became a monster, hunting their clan, and how he couldn't escape Gu Ye's wrath. He presents the arrow as proof, claiming Gu Ye shot him as he tried to flee. The majesty inspects the arrow and recognizes the mark of the Gu family. He orders his people to find a safe place. Wei Lian quickly warns him that the forest is dangerous. With one of the clan members hands the arrow to their leader. He examines it closely, his expression hardening as he catches it. As lightning splits the sky, he gives the chilling order. Let's go. The hunt is on. Here is your GOAT Manhwa recap script. As our heroes are about to leave the collapsing cave, one of the cloaked figures shouts that he can finally escape this hellish place. But wait, a wounded man lies trapped under the rubble, desperately pleading for his life. Help, save me. Our angelic hero Li Chen and Gina stop in their tracks, staring at the fallen man. He looks up at Li Chen, his voice trembling as he begs for help. Without a second thought, Li Chen lifts the massive stone slab off of him. But the man drops a bombshell. Li Chen, I killed Xiao Li. do you still want to save me? Li Chen's reply is nothing short of heroic. If I kill you to avenge Xiao Li, what is the difference between you and I? He helps the traitor to his feet and simply says, let's go. Our girl Jina swoons, her tiny chibi head floating in the rain. That's her man. Alright. Later, a news report blares on the TV, warning of the severe thunderstorms plaguing the city. Back at the base, Guya tells Li Chen that the Wuqi clan's resting place is deep in the mountains, and it's too dangerous to go now. But Li Chen is determined to go, and Guye insists on joining him. Not wanting to be left out, our little nugget Jina pops up, declaring, I want to go too. Li Chen immediately shuts her down, saying it's too dangerous, and he doesn't want her getting hurt. But just then, the man they rescued, Shu Kan, wakes up with a dire warning. Don't go, it's too late. He stumbles over to Guye, looking pale and frantic. He reveals the true villain, Wei Lian, has already gone to the king, ready to spin a web of lies. If you go, he warns, you are dead. But Guye's resolve is ironclad. As a descendant of the hunters, he must reveal the truth. He believes the king won't be fooled by Wei Lian's deception. And so, under the cover of the relentless storm, Guye and Li Chen venture out. Iya spots the glowing mark of the Wuqi clan on a tree, and they press forward. They soon arrive at a massive Gothic-looking estate. Hiding in the bushes, they scout the area, but their stealth mission is a complete failure. They're immediately surrounded by archers. The traitor Li Chen has appeared, and the traitor from the Go family. Arrows rain down on them in an instant. Can you help me distract these archers? Wu Ye asks. Li Chen gives a confident smirk. Leave it to me. With a powerful beat of his wings, he grabs Go Ye and soars into the sky, dodging the volley of arrows. The archers scream in frustration as their targets escape. They land near the entrance, and Li Chen tells Guye to go on ahead while he handles the welcoming committee. The archers rush forward, calling Li Chen a traitor, but our angel boy just grins, pulling out a mysterious spray can. Watch this, he says, unleashing a thick cloud of gas. The archers choke and stumble, collapsing into a deep sleep. Turns out, it's Jina's homemade super hypnotic spray. Meanwhile, Guye makes a grand entrance, kicking down the throne room doors. He finds the king of the Wuqi clan sitting there, looking every bit the imposing ruler. Yi kneels, apologizing for his late arrival. The king's voice is colder than ice. I heard that you and the traitor are in the same boat. When the king demands to know who is outside, wondered how the tower prison's iron bars had disappeared. Wonder among the window. Wonder almost the pole the man banafsak. He assisted me in protecting my friends of the Wuqi clan. But just then, a slick, sinister voice cuts through the tension. Nonsense. It's the snake himself, Wei Lian, and he looks smug as he asks Guye, how dare you lie? Wei Lian then proceeds to spin the most audacious tale, claiming Guye was the one who attacked him and killed one of their own. He plays the victim card perfectly, acting as if he barely escaped with his life. As his final act, he presents a glowing crystal to the king. I could only save the half-remnants of the soul of Xiao Li, he says, sealing Guye's fate. Guye snaps, lunging at the liar. You're so shameless. A guard immediately intercepts him, sword drawn. Wei Lian just smirks while Guye desperately tries to defend his honor. But the king is not convinced. Prove to me you didn't betray us, he demands. In that moment, Guye is frozen, finally understanding the pain and frustration Li Chen must have felt when he was falsely accused. A guard points a glowing sword at his throat, ready to execute him. The guard lunges forward, but suddenly, the window shatters. It's Li Chen, back with his trusty knockout spray. Wei Lian shouts a warning, but it's too late. The hypnotic gas fills the room, and everyone starts to drop. Wei Lian tries to sucker punch Guye, but in the chaos, he drops the soul remnant. Guye snatches it from the floor. Li Chen grabs him, and they make a break for it, escaping through the broken window. They disappear into the stormy night, but they're not alone. A mysterious woman in a pink dress watches them go, a sinister smile playing on her lips. Back at the apartment, Jina gets the full, chaotic story, and is absolutely fuming. She shakes both boys like rag dolls. How can you let Wei Lian get away with this? Gui reassures her it wasn't a total loss, revealing the glowing soul remnant of Xiao Li he managed to grab. Just then, Shu Kan bursts in, accusing them of trying to swallow the soul. Li Chen immediately steps in front of Guye, shielding him. Scan looks at the remnant, admitting he can't lie anymore. He says only Wei Lian can bring Xiao Li back to life, but Li Chen sees an opening. Since Shu Kan was able to preserve the soul, there must be another way. He hatches a plan. They'll preserve the soul themselves and force Wei Lian to help restore it. Shu Kan nods, agreeing to the new mission. The next day, the crew is out shopping for the materials they need to preserve the soul. But Li Chen gets a strange feeling, looking over his shoulder. He tells Jina he feels like they're being followed. He sends her into the shop ahead of him, saying he'll be right back. Once she's alone, a voice materializes out of nowhere. It's the creepy lady from the mansion, who looks suspiciously like a child. You and Li Chen, what is your relationship? She demands. Jina, never one to be intimidated, fires back, telling the kid to introduce herself first. The girl scoffs. How dare you? Juniors nowadays are so disrespectful. An arrow suddenly zips past and embeds itself in the ground at Jina's feet. Jaina realizes she's dealing with a hunter. The little girl smirks, threatening her life if she doesn't cooperate. But before things can escalate, Li Chen reappears and casually picks the tiny terror up by her collar. It is you, he says. The girl kicks and screams, calling him a stinky monster. Jaina is completely baffled as the girl accuses Li Chen of not respecting his elders. Old lady? Jina asks, confused. Li Chen explains with a grin. She is a 360-year-old monster. The chaotic bickering continues, with Jina completely lost in the madness. But lurking in the shadows, the villain Wei Lian gives an order to his minion. Go and bring me that woman. Li Chen tries to make peace with the ancient child, but it's too late. A hooded figure leaps from a rooftop, heading straight for our girl, Jina. The tension is thick as a warning cry echoes through the streets. Out of nowhere, a cloaked figure lunges, aiming to kill. A gleaming sword slices through the air, heading straight for our little ancestor. But with a sharp clink, our silver-haired hero blocks the deadly strike. The attacker, seeing their plan foiled, whips out a spray can. A cloud of mysterious gas fills the air, and the assassin just, what do you think? Our heroine asks, but the tiny ancestor already has it figured out. He's being controlled, she states, her eyes sharp. The person controlling him is nearby. Li Chen tells Gu Yu to stay with her while he investigates, but Jina is having none of it. I don't need you to look for me, I'm here, she snaps, just as a flock of massive terrifying birds descends from the sky. And who's riding them? None other than the deliciously evil Wei Lian. Gu Yu immediately confronts him, demanding to know his purpose. Wei Lian just heskis, a sly grin on his face. I only have one request. His finger points directly at our unsuspecting lead. Me, she gasps, completely stunned. Oh hell no. Li Chen goes absolutely feral. His wings erupt as he flies forward and delivers a savage slap right across Wei Lian's face. Not only you look ugly, but you are overthinking too, he snarls, shielding our girl. Wei Lian, completely unbothered, just smirks. This is the last chance, he warns, his voice dripping with menace. If you miss it, you will encounter even greater disasters. With a snap of his fingers, he issues a chilling prophecy. The war is coming. Then he soars away on his birds, his maniacal laughter echoing behind him. The crew is left speechless, trying to process the chaos. Why? Our girl whispers, her mind reeling. Later, back at the house, Gu Yu finally asks the question on everyone's mind. You are? Jina puffs out her chest, a smug look on her face. I'm your ancestor. It's real. Gu Yu is skeptical. My ancestor couldn't have been so young. Our heroine quickly explains Jina's long and complicated history, and Jina proudly adds that she even designed the family's signature sleeve arrows. Finally convinced, Gu Yu bows respectfully. Jina, satisfied, immediately gets down to business, asking him why he was a no-show yesterday. She begins, launching into a heart-wrenching story from her past. A flashback shows a much younger Jina, innocently wandering through the mountains. She suddenly overheard someone talking nearby. It was a young Wei Lian already plotting his evil schemes. She heard his horrifying plan to achieve immortality by stealing the essence souls of the Wu Qi clan. Back in the present, she connects the dots for them. Wei Lian was looking for me over and over again because he needed my essence soul. Our heroine looks on, horrified. I wanted to rescue the princess. Jina continues, her voice filled with regret. But no one believed me. And then the final devastating piece of the puzzle clicks into place for our girl. Yi Wei has the spirit of the princess in her body, she realizes aloud. So Wei Lian wants to attack me. Jina confirms it. This is their one last chance to stop him. With newfound determination, our heroine steps forward. Bilin, just use me as bait to lure Wei Lian out. No way. Both men shout in perfect, protective unison. Li Chen is adamant. I can't put you at risk. But our girl isn't backing down. She pulls them into a huddle to explain her master plan. After hearing her out, they seem to be reconsidering. Even Jina gives a nod of approval. Suddenly, another young man appears, looking very energetic. Jina eyes him critically. This young man looks very energetic. Do you feel that you have recently become handsome? The poor guy just looks weak and confused. The little crows, the young man, now named Flames, flinches in terror. What exactly do you want? Just say it. Our girl lays out the plan, cold and simple. We want you to trick Wei Lian to come here. Then we'll kill him. Flames completely loses it, screaming, Are you kidding me? I'm the one who will be killed by him, right? The others just give him a united, sparkly-eyed stare of expectation. It's too much for him. He dramatically faints, conceding, I'll just do it, okay? Jina takes charge, boasting about her experience. They hand Flames a special phone with Wei Lian's contact, designed to prevent impersonation. With a trembling hand, he makes the call. Wei Lian answers, surprised. You're still alive. Li Chen takes over the call, playing the part of a desperate traitor. Thanks to you for betraying me, I'm still alive, he says, his voice laced with false bitterness. Wei Lian scoffs, but Li Chen dangles the ultimate bait. What about trading Jina? The line goes silent. Wei Lian is shocked, thinking he's actually caught her. The team holds their breath, waiting. Li Chen continues his act, feigning weakness. Wei Lian, unable to resist, takes the bait. Wait a minute, he says smoothly. Wouldn't I save you? The trap is set. Our girl walks down an empty street, the perfect bait. She confirms the coast is clear, asking Li Chen for his position. From a nearby roof he assures her, Don't worry, I'm watching you all the time. But back in the car, Li Chen feels a sudden sense of dread. Something is not right. A massive thud shatters the roof as a monstrous claw rips through the metal. The feather beasts are here and they're attacking the car. They snatch Flames, dragging him out of the vehicle. What's happening? Meanwhile, our heroine is completely unaware of the chaos. A single black feather drifts down in front of her as a silky voice asks, Who is Miss Jina looking for? She looks up to see Wei Lian perched on a ledge, a predatory grin on his face. He appeared, she gasps. He leaps down gracefully. Long time no see, Miss Jina, he purrs. You won't be able to escape this time, but she's ready for him. Really, she retorts, a smirk of her own playing on her lips. Let's see who's the one who can't escape. Watch out, swish. A massive web shoots down from above, instantly trapping the stunned villain. Wei Lian, I caught you, she declares victoriously. Their triumph is short-lived. A frantic shout comes from down the street. Something's happened. Flames was taken by the feather beast. They turn on Wei Lian. What are you trying to do? Wei Lian, tangled in the net, simply sighs. I can't believe I miscalculated and got caught by you guys. He then gives them a chillingly smug smile. A wave of unease washes over Li Chen. Let's bring him back first. Miles away, Flames is being carried through the sky, screaming for help. Below, Gina runs desperately, trying to keep up. The path feels hauntingly familiar. She realizes where they're going, the place where the Wuchi people live. She arrives at a grand estate just as the guards spot the approaching birds. Squawk. The Feather Clan is attacking, they yell. Then they see who the birds are carrying. It's Li Chen. That traitor has brought the Feather Clan to attack us. The horrifying truth dawns on Gina. No wonder Wei Lian brought flames away, she thinks, her blood running cold. This is to prove the identity of Li Chen as a traitor. This wasn't a miscalculation. It was a perfectly executed frame-up. Here we go. Buckle up, buttercups, because things are about to get wild. Our girl is in the car with the mysterious Wei Lian, and she's got a bad feeling about this. She thinks to herself, I always felt he was hiding something from us. He glances over at her, and she can't quite read his expression. Is it just me, she wonders, a chill running down her spine. Wait, before she can process it, a hooded figure takes aim from a nearby rooftop. Ka thwack. An arrow shatters the windshield, embedding itself just inches from her face. She screams in terror as Wei Lian slams on the brakes. The world tumbles, and the next thing she knows, Li Chen is kneeling over her. What happened? He yells, his face a mask of panic. Our poor heroine is completely dazed, seeing Li Chen, herself, and the smug face of Wei Lian all at once. And aha, Wei Lian, the snake, has her all tied up. He confesses, I've never believed in fate. With a truly villainous grin, he adjusts his tie. I came this time to promote the war between the Feather Clan and the Wuqi clan. Gina is terrified, completely bound and helpless. Wei Lian grabs her, and from a distance, Li Chen screams her name, Jaina. Wei Lian holds her over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes, coolly saying, thank you for your gift. He then summons massive birds that fill the sky, laughing maniacally as he makes his escape. But our boy Li Chen is not having it. He bursts from the car, his own magnificent wings unfurling as he takes to the sky. Gina is suffering, the magic draining her strength. But then a savage cry rips through the air. It's Li Chen, who has just pierced one of Wei Lian's giant birds. He lands defiantly, sword at the ready. Wei Lian, come and take my life, he roars. But the coward uses Gina as a human shield, and Li Chen freezes mid-swing. In a flash, Wei Lian grabs the blade and stabs himself, letting out a pained scream as he shoves Gina away. As she falls, he reveals his true plan. My essence soul, he glares at a horrified Li Chen. You've ruined my plan. I'm going to make you lose everything. He rips the sword out of his own chest and takes flight, ordering his birds to follow. And in the ultimate act of cruelty, he just drops her. Gina plummets towards the ground, screaming Li Chen's name. The panic is real. Bam! Li Chen dives like a bullet, catching her just in time and crashing through the side of a building. He holds her tight amidst the dust and rubble, coughing from the impact. Our girl looks up at him, her heart in her throat. Are you all right? He gives her a bruised but breathtaking smile. Not bad, at least I got you back. They share a tender moment, laughing through the pain and relief. But suddenly, Li Chen's expression changes. What's wrong? She asks. He looks up, his eyes wide with alarm. This is bad. Miles away, a massive surge of energy erupts. Wei Lian stands before a glowing seal, ordering his followers, destroy the spell, hurry up. He watches with a grim satisfaction as his plan unfolds. Blood drips from his self-inflicted wound. As purple lightning cracks the sky, the ancient seal is released. The sky darkens as 100 birds mourn. The Feather Clan is born. On the rooftop, Li Chen holds Gina close, his face grim. This 100 years war, it is still coming. Meanwhile, Gu Ye is pacing anxiously back home. The door clicks open, and in stumbles the little ancestor, supporting a gravely wounded man. Wait, is that Wei Lian? Yue asks if she's okay. I'm fine, she snaps. But he's dying. She orders them to bury him in the soil of argan wood to keep him alive. So they literally plant the dude in a trough of dirt. Yue stares at the mess, wondering, is this the inevitable disaster? Just then, the door opens again. It's Li Chen and Gina, finally back. Yue asks if they caught Wei Lian. Li Chen just shakes his head, looking utterly defeated. He escaped. He delivers the devastating news. He has broken the Feather Clan seal, and now the clan is about to awaken. The little ancestor is furious, but Gina explains Li Chen had to save her. The ancestor sighs. Once the Feather Clan is awakened, they will be directed by the curse. They will consciously seek out the Wuqi clan. A great war is about to begin. Our girl realizes the horrifying truth. The only person who benefited was Wei Lian. They all agree they have to stop it. But how? No one has a plan. Then Li Chen gets an idea. The Feather Clan doesn't take orders from Wei Lian, right? The little ancestor's eyes light up. Since the Wuqi clan has called us traitors, then let's go be traitors. Li Chen smirks, he's in. Wait, that's your plan? Gu Ye asks. So what do we do? The plan is simple. Find the Feather Clan's king and convince him not to go after the Wuqi clan. Yu Ye is impressed. The little monster is quite smart. Li Chen nods. First, let's go check out the destroyed seal site. And with that, they're off running through the woods on their new mission. But they're stopped dead in their tracks. The traitor has really come to the sealed place of the Feather Clan. They're surrounded by hooded archers. The little ancestor steps up. Ancestor, let me take care of them. Let's try the new weapons I have developed. She whips out a massive cannon and bam, it shoots out giant spiderwebs, trapping the guards instantly. The guards are stuck and confused. Then our girl Gina steps forward with a wicked little smile and a spray bottle. The guards groan. Again? How many times do you want to use this drug that makes us sleep? She gives them a generous spritz, and down they go. She turns to Li Chen. Go look for the Feather Clan's king. We will always be behind you. He gives her a grateful look, says then I shall go first, and launches himself into the forest. He lands gracefully near the broken seal. He knows this is the place. He pulls out a single glowing feather and places it gently on the ground. The earth immediately begins to boom and tremble. An earthquake. Gina cries out as the ground splits open. A massive stone structure rises, revealing a man suspended in a crystal prison. Li Chen looks up at the sleeping figure and pleads, "Please wake up." The king of the Feather Clan. Slowly, majestically, the king's eyes open. He shatters his prison with a single flex. Gina and the others arrive just in time to see the glorious, shirtless king of the Feather Clan in all his glory. He looks at the ragtag group of Wu-Ki members and deadpans. This scene is a little ridiculous. He smirks. Why? I never thought that there would be a group of Wu-Chi people around me when I'm awake. The little ancestor bows her head. The king and Lan recognizes her. Li Chen suggests they head back to the house first, and the king simply agrees. Okay. Back on the couch, they explain everything. Gina gives him her best puppy dog eyes, pleading for his help. And Lan, now wearing Gu Ya's clothes, is immediately captivated by her, making Li Chen visibly jealous. Miss, you look a little familiar. I am Gina, she says with a bright smile, but I was probably Yue 100 years ago. The king's eyes widen in recognition, but there's a problem. His powers are weak, and he's bound to obey someone else. It's Wei Lian, Gina realizes. She asks if there's anything he can do. It's just that, he begins, I need that feather to regain my power, but I no longer know where it has gone. Feather. The king is shocked. I thought this feather had been destroyed. There is a way now. He turns to Gu Ye. I'll teach you how to control the power of the feather. Li Chen watches silently, but Gina, ever the sweetheart, pats his shoulder. Brother Guye, you may come along too. He's so grateful. Gina watches them, sensing Li Chen's unease. She smiles to herself, thinking it's probably been a long time since he saw his biological father. The next morning, she and the ancestor sneak a peek at their training. The two men are meditating, the feather floating between them. Did they practice the whole night? Gina wonders. Suddenly, crash, a wounded Feather Clan soldier smashes through the window. On Hastan, he collapses at the king's feet. King, the Wu-Chi people set up an ambush and lured us into arrest. And Lan rushes to his side. Stop talking, you are badly injured. But it's a trap. The soldier pulls a hidden dagger and stabs the king right in the chest. He lets out a chilling, triumphant laugh. Everyone screams in shock as Gu Ye uses the feather to knock the traitor out. The little ancestor rushes forward. It's not good. This blade is the dagger of true words of judgment of the king of Wu-Ki. If they don't get the Wu-Ki king to lift the curse, An Lan will die. They race back to the forest. A single arrow flies out of the darkness, but Li Chen catches it with stone-cold precision. And there he is, the king of the Wu-Ki clan, looking regal and dangerous. Long time no see, he says, his voice dripping with ancient rivalry. The ultimate showdown is about to begin. The king of the Wu-Ki clan appears, his voice echoing through the tense clearing. I am not here to start a war. He announces that he's here to reveal the truth. Wei Lian, the man they trusted, is the true villain behind everything. Li Chen and Gu Ye's eyes narrow with suspicion. Li Chen doesn't buy it for a second, snapping, "You think I'll believe your bullshit?" One of the king's men points an accusing finger. Look at these people you've hurt. How dare you claim you don't want a war? He roars, gesturing to his wounded comrades. Li Chen is stunned, stammering, "I did not," but the king's voice is ice. "I can't forgive you for what you did," he declares, giving a chilling order. "Take these traitors and kill all of them." His archers draw their bows, shouting in unison. The wounded men point at Li Chen, blaming him for everything. Our girl, horrified, mutters, "That guy is so nasty." The king ignites his sword, swinging it at Li Chen. Don't tell lies. The forest erupts into chaos. But as the fight rages, a hooded figure is suddenly struck by a mysterious red orb and collapses, bound by a glowing rope. Hiding in the shadows, the true villain, Wei Lian, smirks. He's regained his strength. Next step, he purrs, his eyes locking onto his target. It's her. Our poor girl is in a full-blown panic, sprinting through the woods. Wendy unleashes his glowing rope like a deadly lasso, and it soars through the air right for her. She tries to dodge, but it's useless. He's too fast, too close. "Do you think you can escape from me?" He taunts as the rope wraps tightly around her. He yanks her back, grabbing her by the hair with a sickening grin. "This time I will personally tear you up and eat you." She struggles, terrified. "Why are you clinging to me? Isn't the essence you've already eaten enough?" He leans in, his breath cold against her skin. "Of course it's not enough," he hisses, revealing his twisted plan to consume the souls of the king and princess to survive. He gloats about killing Shihui for her soul, only for our girl to have eaten it instead. As he moves to drain her, she screams, "Don't move." Suddenly, the forest is filled with archers, their arrows aimed directly at Wei Lian's heart. He freezes, bewildered. What's going on? Where did all the Wu-Chi people go? From the shadows, Guoye emerges with the little princess, holding up a phone. "The woods are full of my cameras," he says coolly. The princess chimes in. "There is no need for us to lie." As the king watches the scene unfold, Wei Lian is completely stunned. The hooded men begin to realize the truth. The people who encountered Wei Lian vanished, while those near Li Chen were unharmed. The traitor was Wei Lian all along. The king turns his cold gaze upon the kneeling snake. Wei Lian desperately tries to spin more lies. "King, this is just a trick." But Li Chen, holding our girl, coughs weakly. "We are tired of hearing you." The king asks the final damning question. "Did you steal the dagger of judgment truth from me?" His face is a mask of stone. Wei Lian begins to tremble uncontrollably. The king's eyes close. "Okay, I understand," he says, his voice deadly calm. "Then pay the price for what you've done." He swings his brilliant sword. The blade just misses Wei Lian's face, who has a sudden desperate realization. He whips out the stolen dagger, lunging straight for the king. "Go to hell, Wu Qi King," he screams. But in a flash of white hair, Li Chen throws himself in front of his father, taking the blade meant for him. The king's eyes widen in horror. Our girl lets out a terrified gasp. Li Chen stumbles, blood pouring from the wound in his chest as she screams his name. He collapses into her arms. Wei Lian throws his head back and laughs like a madman. He snatches another guard with his magic rope, swallowing his essence soul in a horrifying display. "The final winner can only be me," he cackles, as our girl cradles a dying Li Chen. With a surge of adrenaline, our girl shoves Li Chen into Gu Ye's arms. She snatches a sword from a nearby guard and charges at the monster, but he's too strong, grabbing her from behind and closing his hand around her throat. "Good," he sneers. "Someone else coming to die." He prepares to steal her soul, but she glares back defiantly. "I won't let you get your way." She throws a handful of powder into his face. It's super spicy pepper. He recoils, coughing and choking in agony. "Everyone, now," she yells. In an instant, Gu Ye and the princess are on him, tying him up with ropes, while the princess hits him with a face full of pepper spray for good measure. The villain is finally captured. Gu Ye turns to the stunned king. "My king, now you should finally believe us, right?" The princess watches her father, waiting. The king is silent, his eyes fixed on Li Chen. Our girl rushes back to Li Chen's side, her hands cupping his pale face. "Idiot, why did you block the knife?" she cries, tears streaming down her cheeks. He gives her a weak smile. "It's all because of you. That's what you taught me." She's confused. "Once I thought I was not being loved," he whispers, "but after I met you, I realized." The king watches them, his expression pained as a memory surfaces. Li Chen continues explaining the bitter history between their two clans, and how he couldn't let Wei Lian's scheme destroy them both. Our girl turns to the king's men. "Did you hear that?" she demands. "You've been hunting him, but has he ever once hurt you?" The men, and their king, look down in shame. A heartbreaking flashback hits the king, him playing with his laughing son, and then the moment he condemned him as a traitor. He remembers tiny Li Chen on his knees, begging, "I didn't. Father, what did I do wrong?" The king's face crumples with regret. "I was wrong," he murmurs, gently lifting his wounded son into his arms. "If you want to save him," he tells our girl, "lead the way." He carries his son tenderly, ordering Gu Ye to take the traitor and force him to spit out every soul he's stolen. Later, in a grand chamber, the Feather Clan king lies dying, the dagger still embedded in his chest. The Wu Qi king looks down at his old rival. "This stupid idiot," he sighs. "To be tricked like this." Karen caught her precisely below. "Higgin." The magic glows brilliantly. The Feather King's eyes flutter open. "You were saved by me," the Wu Qi king states simply. The Feather King is horrified. "You saved me." "Impossible," he cries, as a chorus of chibi heads nods in confirmation. The proud king is utterly disgusted at being saved by his enemy. The group confirms that Wei Lian was the mastermind behind all the recent conflict. Said mastermind is now chained and bruised, but still defiant. "Kill me if you have the guts," he spits. The two kings just smirk. "Do you think we'll be fooled?" They begin a joint ritual, surrounding Wei Lian with a vortex of light and feathers. Karen caught her precisely below. Our girl watches, confused. "What are they doing?" A weak Li Chen explains. "They're interrogating his spiritual body." The princess adds that in this state, he can't lie, which means they can force him to reveal how to spit out the essence souls. The two ancient kings, meanwhile, are bickering like children. "You're a teenager now, yet you're still this weak," one taunts. The other just sticks his tongue out. The kids can only sweat drop at their 1,000-year-old immaturity. The interrogation complete, the Wu Qi king orders the traitor to be taken away for execution. He then turns to our girl. "Gina, come here." She looks up, surprised, as he motions for them to follow. Here we go again. The stage is set in a lush forest, by a serene lake. A flock of majestic bird creatures, the legendary Feather Clan, cuts through the sky. The leader of the Wu Qi clan, looking every bit the powerful king, stands with our girl's friend as a winged warrior lands before them. "They're all here, right?" he asks, his voice calm and steady. The dashing leader of the Feather Clan glares, his silver hair flowing. "Wu Qi, old man, why do you want me to bring all the people of the Feather Clan here?" he snaps. The king just gives a cryptic smile. "You'll find out later." Just then, the lake water begins to bubble and churn. With a horrifying squawk, monstrous fishmen erupt from the depths, their claws and teeth bared. The Feather Clan warriors draw their weapons, their eyes glowing with fury, ready for a bloodbath. The Feather Clan leader is absolutely livid. "Are you trying to drive us to extinction?" he roars, his voice shaking with rage. But the Wu Qi king stands his ground, unfazed by the snarling beasts. "Our two clans have been enemies for 100 years, he declares. "So let's make a clean break today. And look who it is." A tiny chibi version of our girl Gina pops up, sparkling with excitement. "It's time to reconcile," the king announces. Gina cheers. "Give me a shock," while the Feather Clan leader just stares, completely dumbfounded. "Reconcile? That's right," the king says, as a chibi Gina asks if they're happy. The two leaders, also in chibi form, look incredibly unimpressed. "Just so," they mutter. "Our little meddler isn't having it. Why don't you shake hands with him?" she insists. With a heavy sigh, the two ancient rivals awkwardly shake hands. But their clansmen absolutely lose it. They surge forward, trying to tear their leaders apart, squawking and screaming in protest. But then, a miracle. The moment they touched, the ancient curse begins to shatter. With a series of magical bams, the clansmen's monstrous forms melt away, revealing their true human selves. The curse is lifted. They all cheer in joyous disbelief. The blonde woman watches, her eyes wide with awe. She just witnessed a centuries-old war end right before her eyes. It's awesome, she thinks. A brilliant radiant smile lighting up her face. Meanwhile, back in the modern world, another curse is being dealt with. A girl with purple hair watches over our sleeping hero, Li Chen. A wicked grin spreads across her face. Great, the curse is lifted. She turns her cold eyes to the man in the bed. Now there's just one thing left to do, she whispers. Next, it's time to fix you. We flash back to a dark memory. A man in a suit bows before the Wuqi king, but his respectful posture is a complete lie. The traitor is revealed. The Wuqi and Feather Clan leaders join forces, unleashing a powerful seal to imprison him. Let me go, he screams as the king announces to his people that the traitor has been permanently sealed under Mirror Lake. They drop the heavy, cursed casket into the water. It sinks into the murky depths, where the traitor will be tortured for all eternity, never to appear again. The clans roar their approval. Our king is wise. With the traitor gone, the king declares the feud over. The seal is lifted, the war is done, the two leaders stand together, a new era of peace finally dawning. The king then turns and calls for our girl. Gina, come over for a while. He presses a small embroidered pouch into her hands. What is this? She asks, her eyes wide. She clutches the mysterious gift, feeling its strange energy. This is something that can make Li Chen recover, he explains. He asks her to have Li Chen thank him in person, and she happily agrees. But as he says, I will wait for you, his hand clenches in agony behind his back. As our sweet, unsuspecting heroine walks away, the king's legs give out. He stumbles, his body collapsing. The Feather Clan king catches him just in time. He'd been eavesdropping, and he's furious. I want to see who has tight lips even until now. The old king coughs violently, his life force fading fast. He looks at his former enemy, a weak smile on his face. With him around, he rasps, then I don't have to worry about these people. He closes his eyes for the last time. The Feather King holds the body of his one-time rival, his face a mask of sorrow and respect. Gina rushes back to the hospital, her heart pounding. Li Chen, hurry up and wake up. She gently places the life-saving medicine from the pouch into his mouth. A golden light envelops him as she whispers his name. In a vision, Li Chen sees his father, smiling peacefully. He says his final goodbye, entrusting the future of the two clans to his son. My son, Li Chen's eyes snap open. Gina is right there, asking frantically how he feels. I am fine, he says, but as she hugs him, telling him his father saved him, he understands the terrible price that was paid. Thank you, father, he thinks. You saved me with your life. He holds her close, a solemn vow in his eyes. I will thank him. And just like that, the calamities are finally over. The throne was passed to Li Chen, and now both the Feather and Wuqi clans worship him as their one true leader. But Li Chen, now in modern clothes, tells his kneeling people to rise. It's a new era, and he's not a king. He's a leader ready to take on his father's responsibility. Today, he declares, I will arrange for you. His people stare back utterly confused. And what a chaotic new life it is. The Wuqi members become online streamers, selling handmade bows. The Feather Clan joins the Feather Hunt Express delivery service. The former Feather King now runs a ride-a-big bird attraction for children, while poor Guye is buried under a mountain of corporate paperwork. Ancestor Gu is now an honorary director, living her best life on a beach. And our favorite couple, they're back to their old jobs as streamers. They high-five after another epic win, their chemistry off the charts. They even bring on a tiny magician as a guest, who wows the chat with his magic tricks. The fans go wild, demanding a kiss for hitting 6 million viewers. Jaina gets flustered, but Li Chen just leans in with a devilish smirk. Beep! Suddenly, a massive alert hijacks their stream. An emerging task has been triggered with a 48-hour countdown. They both stare at the screen, completely baffled. A new broadcast appears, hosted by President Yu herself. She congratulates the happy couple on being selected for a 48-hour live Sweetest Couple competition. A moment later, a Feather Hunt Express bird pecks at their window, delivering an official invitation. They tear it open. The grand prize for winning is a couple's trip to a Greek island. They are so in. The first stop is an amusement park, and they're forced into matching school outfits. Li Chen is not amused. The first challenge, a popularity contest. The couple with the most votes from tourists gets 20 points, but their initial results are a total disaster, and they're getting crushed. Li Chen sighs. I'm leaving for a while, leaving Gina crestfallen. But suddenly she gasps. A massive crowd is formed, and their votes are skyrocketing to over 500. I knew it would work, she cheers. They won. The announcer declares them the winners, and Gina runs to Li Chen, waving her prize. He pats her head, smiling proudly. But the crowd surrounds them, demanding the show they were promised for their votes. Li Chen smirks. I can't hide it, he says, pulling Gina close. So I'll send everyone a romantic thank you gift. With a snap of his fingers, a magical shower of petals rains down as they begin to float into the sky. The crowd goes absolutely wild. And the final surprise? Li Chen announces that everyone who voted for them gets free ice cream, courtesy of the Feather Beasts. The crowd cheers as our winning couple shares a sweet, victorious moment. Li Chen smiles, taking her hand. Come on, let's go to the next stop. Our story picks up at a heartwarming challenge, and the second stop is a classic ring toss. The rules are simple. One person throws blindfolded, the other gives directions. Our girl decides to be the instructor, meaning our leading man Li Chen will be the one tossing the rings. The result is pure chaotic gold. She's screaming to the left, no to the right, as a blindfolded Li Chen swings wildly, missing every single shot. They're down to their last ring, and the tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. But then Li Chen suddenly calls her over. Our girl is completely baffled by his request. He pulls her close, implants a surprise kiss right on her lips. She's absolutely stunned, asking what that was all about. His ridiculously smooth answer, charging. With his energy levels topped up, he puts the blindfold back on. He takes a deep breath and lets the final ring fly with a confident swish. Bullseye. A perfect landing. Our girl erupts in cheers, celebrating their hard-won 20 points while Li Chen coolly removes his blindfold like the champion he is. Next up, the third stop, a quiz to test just how well this couple knows each other. Li Chen, brimming with his usual confidence, declares he's absolutely ready for this. The host hands them cards to fill out their answers individually. With the prep work done, the test of understanding begins. The first question: what was the first gift that Li Chen gave you? Our girl smugly points to the beautiful necklace she's wearing. Correct. Next question: where was your first kiss? She shyly answers, Mirror Lake Shipwreck, and you can just see Li Chen trying to play it cool. For the final question, the host begins, what is Li Chen's favorite?